It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. Ricky, Ricky. Yes, it is the four quarter show. We are back. I am your hostess with the mostest, Mello, aka the Swiss Roll, aka the main event, aka the showstopper. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. And again, I am missing my other half co host, Mr. Align, Lorenzo, but he will be back, so just stay tuned. But because of that, I brought myself another co host, a guest host, one that I know the audience here will love. And this man has been known on the hardwood as the Terrorizer. He has been known, I've heard this from many people, many stories, that he was there when the Incredible Hulk was created. And no, I'm not talking about Bruce Banner. I'm talking about that beverage that you get at a nightclub and you're regretting about 20 minutes later, but you know you're going to have a good time. That man is none other than Mr. Jason Alvin.
What up, people? Yo soy Jason's in the building. How's it going?
Oh,
Holla at your boy.
yeah.
Yo, did
You
I
got
hear
some
you call
audience
yourself
there?
the Swiss roll? That's
Yeah, so I,
hilarious.
I messed it up. So it was like, I'm the hostess with the mostest, aka Mr. Swiss Roll. It's been such a long time I haven't said it that.
Nah, it's all good that
Uh,
you stumbled through it. That part I'm not mad at you about. I'm dying that you called yourself the Swiss roll. I was like,
the,
what?
the, the funniest thing is that the hostess doesn't even make the Swiss roll. It's Little Debbie.
It's Lil
So
Debbie for sure.
yeah, my thing is all messed up there. Either way.
It's all good, man. As long as you rolling with it, I'm rocking with it. You know, you my boy, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited. This is gonna be fun, homie. You ready?
Absolutely, I'm ready, and I'm so glad for you to join me and for yourself and the audience at home. If you haven't tuned into the four quarter show before, here's how the show goes. It is total of four quarters. Each quarter is 10 minutes. We're going to debate certain topics in each quarter. We have a halftime and an overtime. Halftime, normally we go on and have a wager and we put a belt on the line. Today's going to be a little bit different because it was very last minute, so I didn't do that. For next time, though, boss, I will make sure that we put a wager and you will be fighting for the halftime
Oh,
championship of the
I
world.
need I need the belt like Aaron Rodgers. Discount double check, baby. You already know.
Yes, and then in overtime we go ahead. There's no limit on overtime. We talk about pop culture stuff in the news, anything that we want to bring up. What have you been doing? Stuff like that. So with that, are you ready?
I'm about as ready as I'm gonna get, man. You know, I took a little couple minor notes earlier. I'm ready to do this. Let's get after it.
All right, let me fix up the banners here. Gotta set the timer.
I feel like this is PTI right now, or around the horn. Like you know, I watch these shows religiously, so I'm pretty geeked up, man.
Yeah, it's like a first take, sort of like an undisputed, back and forth. We're most likely gonna disagree about certain things, so that's why I'm excited.
I mean, that's how life goes. Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, quarter number one. We're starting off right now. 10 minutes on the clock. First thing we're gonna talk about is the Olympic Games, the 2020 I guess you can
The
say.
mix, they did the little mix up and got it together. That's what's up.
They still put in the 2020 in there. They just came to a close, and we want to start off very light before we start getting into the real debating topics.
For sure.
And I wanted to talk to you about what you thought was an Olympic sport that you saw that you think you can compete in.
Well, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and it's a little different for me now. But I, when I do run for distance, or when I do go out and run just to run, not playing basketball because I wasn't good enough to make it there. But I think I could have been a distance runner. And the
Okay.
reason why is when I set my mind to running, I kind of set my brain on autopilot. You know what I mean? And I think running to me, or at least for me, has always been more mental than anything else. If I can get my breathing down, if I can get it in a nice pace where I can keep breathing, and I don't feel like my lungs are collapsing, I can go a pretty good distance, without even training. Like one time, this hasn't been recently, but maybe about 2 years ago, like my wife was like, "Hey, I want to start running." I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm with it. Let's do it." And we got up one day, and I literally ran like a mile and a half without stopping off the couch, homie. No training, no way. I've been doing this every day, so I was just taking. 7 feet. But yeah, man. So maybe being a distance runner might have been all right for me. What about you?
Wow, so that's definitely something I would not have been able to do. I saw some of these guys, and I'm just there like, how have they been running for like 3 hours and just
Yeah,
like
just straight.
straight like nothing? For me, the one that I did see, and I was like, okay, I feel like this is a game that I can play is a handball.
There's handball in the Olympics, my boy.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah, handball. So I saw them play, and I was like, I can definitely do this. It's basically, sort of like soccer, but with your hands. You
Yeah.
can dribble. You can move throughout the court dribbling, or if you don't want to dribble, you can take 2 steps, but you got to pass it or shoot. And I felt like I saw it. I was like, man, definitely could do that.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds like anybody could probably pull that off, man. If you really put it in the work, you could actually do that one.
Yeah. So
Now,
now, the one that I didn't think that I would not want to do just because I feel like I would probably die is water polo.
yo, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Like,
What?
no way I'm out there swimming for more than 3 minutes. That's already the case. Like 3 minutes of swimming? No,
Not
bro,
only
I can't
that,
do it.
but these guys are trying to drown each other essentially. When they're playing defense, they're pulling you under. It's not like all right, we're just gonna stay here, maybe try to block you with their hand. No, 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 they're
No,
pulling you down.
listen, I would be out there fighting for my life, homie. Like somebody's getting a black eye before before this is over with. There's no way I'm gonna have this guy draping on me while I hold a ball in the air trying to throw it to my teammate. No way. This guy right here is getting a knuckles to the nose. Anything other than just chilling
I'm
like it's all good.
I'm honestly surprised someone hasn't like drowned or they had to rescue them because they're just go there's it's not like they're walking, on the ground. No, they're swimming up as they're doing this. So they're keeping themselves up. It's impressive.
Bro,
I
this
saw this
is
and I was like, there's no way I last in this sport.
this is like what 10, 12 feet of water. Come on, man. Just the sound of that is scary. Just the sound of that is scary.
And then the distance that they're going like 50 meters each way.
I don't want to play. I'm gonna respectfully decline, my man. I'm gonna respectfully decline on that one. Like, there's no way I can keep my stamina up that long. No way I can swim in a pool and fight off a defender while trying to score a goal. And literally like thrusting myself out of water too. It's like they're jumping. How are you getting up, bro? There's no you're not. There's no ground.
Yeah, no.
You're
They're
doing this in
they're
water.
propellers. That's what they got. They got propellers down there.
Flipper's cousins, homie.
The, here, Steve, who's more useless than a lifeguard at the Olympics. I don't know. For that one, I feel like you need it just in
Man,
case.
listen, that and that in the high diving. Listen, if you jump off of this thing at 27 feet and miss, or you get up there and you have to leave the board to land again and then flip. Oh no, what if you miss? What if you miss? And now you're just falling uncontrollably in the
What's
20 feet
impressive
of
is
water.
the duo one where they're doing the same move together, and it's like, man,
Listen,
how do you time that like that?
listen. I'll jump off, but it's not going to be in all that sequence. There'll be no sequence to this, homie. I'm jumping. I might give you the old fashioned cannonball, or no, I'm not doing the belly flop. Belly flop, you
All
might
that
just die.
from that high, it's gonna hurt.
That'll be the one that'll be the day somebody needs a lifeguard for sure.
All right. So next up, we got Olympic talk. We're gonna talk about one of our favorite sports, basketball, and that is Team USA winning the gold again. But I feel like this was a very different Team USA than we're used to. From what I saw, it was very ISO ball. Like it was either Kevin Durant was gonna score for you, Jason Tatum was gonna score for you, but it didn't really feel team wise. Like
No,
none of these guys collectively were good, and no one was helping the cause. Like they didn't really have a true point guard because Damian Lillard, as everyone knows on the show, how much I love Mister Dame Time. He's not a real point guard. Like he's
no.
not making anyone better.
Well, in his defense, where he plays in Portland, he doesn't necessarily have to because the guys that are there, their game pretty much is pick and roll for anybody who's got the pill. With exception for Melo, who was there, not no longer there, but we'll talk about that later. But if you give the ball to what's my guy, McCollum's either he's gonna hit you with the what is it called, the step back or the pull up jump shot. That's his game, or he's gonna go pick and roll and go score. You don't need Dame to help him with that. I
But
mean,
at
when
the Olympics, he didn't do anything though.
yeah. But that's when it comes to the Olympic team, they have to realize that these guys really have to try to play together more. I think they're getting away from the fact that you can't just. This is not two. I mean, this is not 1992. You can't just pull Jordan Barkley, Malone, and all these guys out there, throw them out there, let them go play. One, those guys played much more of a team game than anybody else did. Anyway, that's what the game looked like then. The game doesn't look like that anymore. I mean, Luka's dropping 60 in
My
games.
God, that game against Argentina, I was just in shock at what he was doing.
Like the individual basketball now is at an all-time high. And so you're going to try to put all of these individual players together, great individual players together, by the way, and expect them to go out there and now be a team, move the ball, share the ball. Draymond can only do so much when it comes to trying to make this a facilitator kind of thing. They needed a John Stockton is what they needed. They needed a Mark Jackson, somebody to just get out there who's not gonna try to get 30, 40 points and not gonna shoot the ball 10, 15 times. They're gonna let it go and let the other guys get off.
I mean, someone that would have been great, I feel like, would have been James Harden. I feel like he would have facilitated and gotten everyone like their open spots, and then when it's open for him, he'll go ahead and take the shot.
And make the shot though. That's the big part. You know what I mean? He keeps everybody. It keeps everybody honest. But I don't know. Maybe he's hurt, or maybe they just didn't feel like he was going to be that guy to actually.
No,
pass the ball.
he was supposed to be on the team, and then he bowed out. I think he just
Yeah, because he was over in France with the baby.
with the baby, making sure almost getting caught for some illegal nonsense over there. Which thank God, he's with the right people because he didn't get
These guys got to start understanding international diplomacy. Like they're gonna have a real problem on their hands soon. They're gonna have to send the National Guard over there to get one of the players out of jail, and it's gonna be all over the place on every media outlet under the sun, probably including this one.
Absolutely. So this Team USA. I mean, I honestly had doubts that they were gonna win, especially since they lost to France originally,
For sure.
and then I think they lost, who was it, to Australia in like a pre
Yep.
FIBA game.
Absolutely.
So they definitely lucked out that Kevin Durant didn't have an off night, because
Listen,
if he did, then they weren't gonna win.
They struggled to get in. I mean, from the beginning, they had to qualify. They had to qualify to go get into the game. So they lost those two preseason games, and it just kind of got hairy after that. But again, no disrespect to Giannis, no disrespect to LeBron. Now Kevin Durant's the best basketball player out there, bro. There's just
Ooh.
yeah. We can talk about this all day, every day. When you're ready, listen to what this guy came back from a Achilles tendon injury, and basically just went honey baked ham on everybody. Like nobody gave him work this year really to slow him up. And he went to the Olympics and showed the exact same thing. Like, listen, when it's game time, I'm ready for this. Now, don't get me wrong. He shot the air ball in the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever it was. Was it Eastern Conference Finals or was it semis?
Semis.
Semifinals. Okay,
But he still made the one to send them to OT.
That's one. Two. I mean, if you want to talk about, we'll talk about the Bucks later. But you got to have somebody to help you. There's LeBron's proved this a billion times. He drugged that Cleveland team to the finals without Kyrie getting hurt that year, with Kevin Love getting hurt that year. Still ended up winning 2 games with Dellavedova. So you're gonna go out and win some games, but you're not gonna go out here and dominate. And so you give Kevin Durant the staff he had out there in the Olympics, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do, which is go out and help you get a W. Be the leader, be the dog of the team, be the big dog, as Glenn Robinson said. Hey, sometimes you got to move over and let the big dog eat.
Harden wasn't at 100%. I'm gonna go ahead and defend your logic here. Harden wasn't at 100%. He lost Kyrie, which was big, and still, I mean, again, he almost took him there. And I feel like had he been able to get past Milwaukee, they would have won.
Listen, he gets past Milwaukee there. They're probably going to get one of the two back. They only needed one of the two. They didn't need both of them. You get one of the two back, and it's over. You saw how Kyrie was playing when he was out there. Bananas.
He was
to have something like that, bananas. Like this guy's package of playing basketball, finishing at the rim, mid-range finishes, 3-ball. Listen, he's Isaiah Thomas 2.0. Give him a little steroids or whatever. He's that guy.
That's not the same thing as when he joined Golden State. Everyone was saying that they couldn't because Kyrie is apparently a cancer to the team. People said same thing with Harden.
That's got nothing to do with basketball. That's
That's
got
what I'm
nothing
saying.
to do with
And I
basketball.
think Kyrie's at a different head. I think both of them, minus Kevin Durant. I think Harden's at a different place in his mind. So is Kyrie, where they're not like the. At least Harden, I feel like isn't like a team has to run around me.
Right.
You know, he's just gonna be the facilitator, and try to win some games. He just ended up getting hurt.
Yeah.
It was a bad thing.
Exactly, and well, that's also his fault though. He forced that move from uh, Houston, and he forced it by coming in out of shape. And you can see it. He's had to be at least 20 pounds over his normal playing weight. Goes out there and then you blow a hammy and you wonder what happened.
I don't
This is
know.
what happened.
That looked like a little con because when he got to the Nets, he looked good.
Yeah, but he still looked fat. And
Okay.
being that
Uh,
big, your knees, ankles, joints, they ain't with that extra weight, homie. They ain't with it.
well, that's the end of quarter number one, and I
Shut-
guess what we're gonna do, since our halftime is gonna be a little different, our one topic that we had for quarter one, we're gonna move it to halftime. So
Okay, let's do
halftime
it.
we have, and whatever else we don't finish in like two, we'll do the same.
Okay, for sure.
All right. So next up, we got quarter number two. I'm gonna put the timer, and we're on. All right. So next up, quarter number two, we're gonna. Well, actually, before we start quarter number two, let me not be rude and go to the comments first, because we had Steve, which is the owner of the website
For
Pop Culture
sure.
Pros.
What up, Steve?
When you were talking about that this feels like undisputed and all that, he's like, this is better than any of those shows. Thank you very much for
Listen, we might be better than Undisputed. We ain't better than PTI. I can tell you that right now. That's my show right
Well,
there. We ain't better than
we're
PTI.
better than First Take because Max Kellerman and
Yeah, yeah,
Stephen A.
yeah.
Smith are a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of clowns at this point.
I ain't even. I'm not worried about them. PTI, we ain't messing with PTI. My old
PTI
guy,
is
the old geezers are doing what they got to do. And around the horn, just the mere fact to have so many different opportunities to speak to so many different cultures, women, Asian people. They give you the whole gamut of everything, and everybody's coming from different sports backgrounds: Chicago, California, Miami, New York. Just to give you all of those perspectives, I think it's amazing. Even though sometimes I don't like how Tony scores
yeah.
the
So,
game, but
sometimes
whatever.
I'm like, come on, he made up a good. He had a good valid point there. He should get a couple more
Absolutely,
points in that.
absolutely. Sometimes he's a little stingy with the. You got to let him go. But other than that, I mean that. Listen, if this promotes me one day to end up on that show, David, I'm gonna have to come back and give you some money, man. We have to hook it up for you, bro.
Just the recognition and be like, this is where I got started is good enough for me.
For sure. Listen,
Honestly.
I'll take my 30 seconds of FaceTime at the end, and I'm dedicating it to you, homie. You heard it here first.
Thank you, Jay. All right, so next up we're gonna start our quarter number two. Let me get the timer back, and we're off. All right, so here we're gonna talk about some NBA, and we'll start off with the NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks.
Congratulations to the Bucks. Good old Giannis.
Absolutely, I was. I'm gonna say I had to eat my words because before the season started, that they made the Drew Holiday move. I was like, why who? I was just not sure why everyone was praising the Drew Holiday move. I didn't think that he was that key of a piece. I didn't think he was gonna make that big of a difference.
Really?
I didn't think not to the extent where they were like, oh, this is like a super team now.
Oh yeah. No, not like that. No, that's a bit much. But I did think that he brought to that team what a lot of what they had. Him and what's this guy's name who used to shoot in the corner for Houston? Goodness, yeah, it'll come to me later. But they brought this grittiness
Oh,
to the
PJ
team.
Tucker.
PJ Tucker, thank you. Him and PJ Tucker, they bring that. You're not gonna come in here and chump us. If you're gonna beat us, you're gonna have to beat us literally. We're not really gonna beat ourselves because those two guys, they don't really do anything outside of what they can do, right? They go out and they do what they do, and that's it. So if you're gonna give me that every night as a coach with a guy like Giannis and then Middleton actually waking up after every second game because the first two games for whatever reason he just slept through whatever playoff series, and then the third game he went off. If you're gonna give me that, I'm gonna have a shot to go out and get this W. So kudos to the Bucks for going out and doing what they can, or excuse me, doing what they should have done, which is winning a title.
Absolutely, and so I agree with you there. Uh, Chris Middleton was huge. Him showing up was a big difference maker. I think Giannis. I think honestly, at least in the finals, Monty Williams blew that. I don't understand why after the first two games you decide to switch it up on Giannis. The Miami Heat literally gave everyone a playbook of how to stop Giannis, and then that's it. They're like, oh no, let's try to reinvent the wheel.
Listen, man, what do you?
Let's get Frank Kaminsky out there because sure, why not? It's the finals. Let's get him some playing time. And then Devin Booker, Mister, which I mean, I wonder how you feel about that. They love to call him Kobe Bryant Jr. Absolutely
Listen,
disappeared.
Please let my boy 8/2024 rest in peace, homie. There's no way. Listen, nobody's Kobe. Nobody's Kobe. Don't get me wrong, this kid can score the basketball when he gets hot, right? But he's 2 inches shorter than Kobe was. He ain't jumping out the gym like Kobe was. He ain't getting to the cup like Kobe was. He's got a mid-range game like crazy, and he can shoot the 3-ball. That's his game, and that's great. But when it comes to this playoff basketball, and a guy starts knocking you around, and the West is swallowing the whistle so much, and you ain't shooting 17 free throws in a game, now you're not Kobe anymore. You understand what I mean?
And the defense. I'm sorry, people were afraid of Kobe being like guarding them. I feel like no one's afraid of Devin Booker being guarding. Like, oh, Devin Booker,
he guards somebody. You're a small guy, bro. You're not even strong enough to stop people from getting to the cup. So that along with, in my personal opinion, I think that both sides benefited from injuries on their way to the championship. And I don't want to put an asterisk on it like they did the bubble, like they did the Lakers. Shout out to the Lick Show, the Lakers championship. But a lot of these folks, even though injuries are a part of the game, you benefited from those injuries.
Oh, absolutely.
AD doesn't get hurt, we maybe talk about something different. I mean, we took him to 7 games and was struggling out there, just barely like getting people on and off the court. Same thing with the Clippers. This guy tears up his knee. I don't know if it's a different series after that. You understand what I mean? It just maybe not.
I mean, Paul George almost did it. Paul George was. He's 2 free throws. Don't miss them, and it's a different series.
Let's send just a little love to playoff P because I was like, oh my god, if this guy folds, he's gonna need a therapist, homie. Like he's gonna need to find somebody's couch, stretch out, and be like, listen, I want to be the man, but I'm just not sure how. What do I do, doc? Tell me how to walk through this thing. Like he was gonna have such a problem, homie. Like, and the media was gonna he was gonna be in a blender. Then they were gonna puree him, marinate him in some meat, and then put him on a grill, homie. He was in the fire like crazy, but he showed up, man. You got to give him his props for doing that. And Absolutely. You need the Terminator to stay in the game and not blow a knee out. And you might be talking about a whole nother person being a champion because we've seen what the Clippers
easy.
But we've seen what the Clippers are, and not to cut you off, but what Kawhi has done to Giannis in the past. We've seen it. You know what I mean? So you get that matchup in the finals. It's a whole nother ball game. Or LeBron gets to the finals. Listen, with AD, he's gonna being there before makes a difference, bro. It makes a difference. We've seen it. We saw that with the Suns. You go up 2-0 and lose 4 games straight. You mean to tell me you can't ink out one more game, bro? Just to make it a 7-game series? They win 4 games in a row? Come on, man. And then of course, like you said, Monty Williams, he kind of, he showed that he hadn't been there before. One thing, look, Frank Vogel ain't the best coach ever in life, but he's a defensive coach, and when he's got bodies that actually defend like he did in the bubble, you saw the difference. He would give you something different every night. The White Howard's not doing well. Now get him out of here. Give me somebody. We're gonna go small ball and play defense. Oh, that's not working. Let's get our big guys out here to play defense again. Like on defense was something coming new every night, and that's what Phoenix needed to do to get them a W.
Absolutely, and I mean with Frank Vogel, I will give him that. He's defensive minded, but against the Heat, the first 2 games, man, Spoelstra wasn't realizing that the entire game, first 2 games, what they were doing was LeBron James brings down the ball, whoever's Duncan Robinson is guarding, pick and roll, and then bam, Duncan Robinson's on LeBron James.
Yep.
And it's like, I literally watched the first two games in frustration. Like, is he not seeing this?
Are we,
It's
are we
literally
not?
the same play over and over again.
Can we stop switching? Like, and see that same thing
Like he had to
happened.
get out of the zone, but he didn't want to. He was so set on the zone working, and he got blown out both games.
Now listen, this is the same thing happened when LeBron was playing for the Heat. Well, excuse me, for the Cavaliers, not the Heat. When Kevin Durant comes to the team, this is after they win the championship. Kevin Durant comes to the team, and then late in the third and fourth game, I believe, every time down, Kevin Durant comes down. They run this little mini pick and roll where LeBron's guarding them. The guy barely scrapes LeBron's shoulder. This is why, you got to call Mike the GOAT. We can talk about that another day too. But the guy barely scrapes him on a pick. They switch, and now it's LeBron. I mean, it's Kevin Durant versus like Kevin Love, or it's Kevin Durant versus George Hill. Those are mismatches like crazy. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's gonna stop KD. But bruh, stop switching. I would have called timeout, met LeBron at half court, and be like, "Yo, if you switch again, I'm taking you out, dog. I don't care what time of the game it is. You got KD. Nobody switch on KD." And then I would have walked back to this huddle and said, "Hey man, LeBron says he's got KD for the rest of the game. Nobody switch." And that's what we were gonna do. Because even if he fouled Kevin Durant, the refs might give him a little more leeway than Kevin Love, George Hill, or whoever else out there. And like you said, Duncan Robinson versus LeBron, everybody's taking that matchup. I got money right now in my pocket, and I'll put it up. I'll put it up on LeBron.
He's got what, like 120 pounds on Duncan Robinson? Like, come on, man. That's just not fair. And Spoelstra got abused that series with that. If it wasn't for Jimmy Butler going off and saying, "Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do it all," and get a 40-point triple double and then a 30-point triple double, the man was exhausted. So,
listen, that's always been my knock on Spo anyway, man. I don't like to go in on Spo, but listen, in-game adjustment is not his thing. He'll make an adjustment from game to game, but if it's happening in this game, he's sticking to his game plan. And while that's okay for some coaches, that doesn't work for the Heat. Anytime they're in big time games, I need you to see that there's something happening here, sir. I want you to see that LeBron has come down and done malice things to Duncan Robinson 5 times in a row and say, "Hey, all right, man. So listen, stop switching. Jimmy, you got LeBron. Don't switch. Stay there, whatever. We're going to have to find out scoring from our defense, and let's get down on the other court and see what we can do." Exactly. But hey, we're not paid coaches. What do we know? You know what I mean? Exactly. It's just a game we grew up on, watching every day, seeing some people do it at a really high level for a very long time. Whatever.
Just talk about it.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about one of your favorite teams in basketball, which is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh yeah, let's go Lake Show.
This is Miss Jeannie Buss recently on a podcast came out and listed her top 5 Lakers ever. And here's her list. It was Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, and Phil Jackson. How do you feel about this list? Because this is going to hit real close to you.
Well, first and foremost, the first thing that happened is nobody should have had to help her with Magic Johnson. What's my guy's name? Is it Doug Christie? Who's on this podcast? I was on All the Smoke, right?
I believe so.
I think it was Doug Christie or one of them. They helped her get Magic out there. That should have been that. First of all, that makes your list null and void. You cannot be a Laker and stutter through Magic Johnson. You can't do it. You can't do it. Maybe you should have.
Honestly, that should have been the first name.
First person to come out. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a younger person, I probably would have said Kobe first. But there is no way I stutter out. Oh yeah, Magic, Irving, ha ha. Secondly, her list don't count because she's a front office personnel. She inherited this. This is not what. Listen, she could have been doing so many other things. She could have been anywhere along the line doing something else. But hey, let's allow her to do her thing. So that's the first thing. You can't stutter through. Secondly, she ain't. And then the third, Phil's not a player, bro.
That's why I don't understand why Phil was
Phil's
on
not
there.
a player. You could have went James Worthy, Byron Scott, Shaq. The guy that helped you win.
I thought Shaq should have been on there. I would have put Shaq over LeBron James.
She said LeBron because LeBron's a current player, bro, and she can't leave him off that list like that. Now, I don't think LeBron would have had a problem with her leaving him off the list. I don't think so, considering the fact that he's only been there 3 years now or 2 years now.
3 to 3, yeah.
3 years now. So I don't think he would have had a problem with it, but she really like, bro. There's
What about the logo?
There's people
Jerry
in the
West?
Raptors, bro. You could even went you could have went Wilt. You know what I mean? Like there's people in the Raptors, homie. Like you can't. LeBron ain't even up there yet. He still got time to get there.
That is
Out
the
of
end of
control.
quarter number 2. But yes, well, I'm telling you, when I heard that list, I was like, I was just so I was like, where's Shaq on this list? Like,
This lady needs a hug, bro. She needs a hug. She's just out there walking with her eyes open. Just, hopefully I get the right thing. Like I said, once she stuttered through Magic, I was like, okay, I'm changing the channel. I don't have time to put energy and effort into this because this list is tragic. You can't. There's no way you can stutter through Magic. You can't leave Shaq off the list. You can't name a coach. You just can't do it. Can't do it. So then name Frank Vogel if that's the case. What about all the other coaches that won championships back in the day? What are we doing?
didn't they Pat Riley?
Listen, she should have named Pat if that was the case. She should have named Pat, like for sure. Pat won you a championship with your starting center going down in the first game to a hamstring injury and putting a point guard at center.
Yeah, go ahead,
Like,
Magic. Play center.
That doesn't make you get a W, then I don't know what does. Now, let me name my ex-boyfriend because that works. Get out of here. It's out of control on me.
All right, guys. We're here at halftime. Like I said before, halftime normally we go over a wager that we put on before. We usually bet on a couple games, and the winner at the end gets the halftime championship belt. We weren't able to do that this week because, again, very last minute. Next time, though, I'll make sure that we get a couple games up.
Let me know. I throw a little something at it.
And so for this one, I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to just talk to you, have the people get to know you a little bit more, and then we'll go over whatever you missed in quarter 1 and 2.
For sure. Let's do it.
All right. So let's start off with you, Mr. Jason Alvin. What are you doing now? What do you want to promote out there?
Oh, well, first and foremost, my wife's a realtor, and this is what we do. It's our family business. We're out here changing lives through home ownership. Our intention is to make sure that all of our friends, family, and extensions of those, all of our referrals, all of our clients are first and foremost happy with our business at Elite Realty Partners. So if you or anybody you know are looking to sell, buy, rent, purchase an investment property, we got the knowledge and the skill to first get you under contract, but then two, get you through that contract and into your new home, new business, new investment property, and make sure that you're making the money that you need. But also, two, extremely happy and comfortable with what you want, where you want to live, when you want to live there, how much money you want to spend on that place. If it's investment properties, we have property management as well that we've just started to dabble into. So there's a lot of things going on this end when it comes to our real estate ventures, and the sky's the limit for all of it. So if you ever want or ever need, can I throw her email out there?
Absolutely. If you want,
For sure.
Let me put the banner up here. Shoot out her email, and then I'll write it down so we have it down there for everyone watching now.
YourRealEstateWarrior.com. YourRealEstateWarrior.com. If that doesn't get it for you, then it's Maya at TrustEliteInc.com. Either way, Maya is spelled MIYA. MIYA at TrustEliteInc.com. So reach out, let us know how we can help you. We service the whole South Florida area.
You said YourRealEstateWarrior.com, right?
That's accurate, yeah.
All right.
YourRealEstateWarrior.com, or you can just hit her up, send her email directly at Maya, MIYA, at TrustEliteInc.com.
Trust Elite.
So yeah, TrustEliteInc.com. That's accurate.
Oh, Trust Inc.
Yeah, TrustEliteInc.com. And so at any point, at any time, anybody, we're taking on all, Can we get him to stop doing the pick up and kill him? But if you're doing any, if you need anything that's, you want to invest in property, you want to purchase a home for yourself, you want to, I'm going to put it in the comments, David. Can I do that? Will
Yeah,
you allow me to
absolutely.
do that?
Yeah. Did I get it right though? On
No,
the banner?
no,
No.
no, you didn't.
Damn it. All right, put it in. I'll put it on the thing again. Put it in the comments, and I'll rewrite it again.
When I'm trying to do that now and it's not allowing me, or private chat, here we go. Thank you. Maya at trusteliteinc.com. Your real estate warrior. I spelled that wrong.
Shoot. So it was elite. I got it wrong.
Yes.
I got it.
That's all good, homie. There you go. So the website is the bottom one, the email is the first one. But again, reach out, let us know, man. We're really eager to help a lot of families. And people really they get nervous when they hear about real estate, especially because it's one, such a big purchase, but two, it's not something that people are very versed in. And so what we do, one of the things that I really enjoy about my wife's work and about our work is that we get the opportunity to educate people on real estate, how you can make money from it, what it does for the generations to come after you. I mean, can you imagine just being an adult, living your life, and then getting to a point where, it's like, oh, I'm going to go and live in an old folks home, or I'm going to, retire in a condo on the beach. And you could actually leave your property to your children. They don't have to get up and go and rent somewhere. They can just live in that space. You could sell the home, take the money from the home, divide the proceeds to your kids, man. Give them a little something to start off their life. There's so many options that you have. You can rent the place out. Hey, listen, my house is paid for. By the time we get to the point where we're going to be retired, it gives you, your rent's going to be $27,000 down here in South Florida. If you're renting that right now, I'm telling I'm telling the truth. And so you get to that point, you get an opportunity at that point to then rent out your space. Hey, I don't have to pay the mortgage on this thing anymore. These people are paying my mortgage and then some, probably paying my mortgage and my rental space that I'm taking up now. So there's so many different options, so many different ways to make money from it. But also, like I said, the educational part is the part that I really enjoy. I mean, you know me, David. I like to teach people things and like to walk them through it and make sure that they have a good grasp on it before I move on to anything else. And so this has been amazing because you get new clients all the time and you're teaching them something new all the time, man. And it's so interesting, so fun, seeing new houses, working through the problems. I'm elated, bro.
That's awesome. And I didn't know. I mean, that's a good way to think about it. Something I didn't think about that you just mentioned was like, your kids, where, you want to leave them. You always want the best for your kids.
It's
I mean,
about
again,
legacy, man.
I don't have kids yet,
Yeah.
but I know you do. So it's all about, you want to think and make things easier for them so that when they grow up, life's not smacking them in the face. So this
For
is a
sure.
great way to think about it. And yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, like listen, this is home, and this is always going to be home for them. Like my daughter did this painting on the wall or whatever the case may be. I thought it was going to be a dope backdrop, but you know,
It is. I love the backdrop.
no, she
I
did a
didn't tell you
great
that
job,
before,
man.
but it's awesome.
No, she did a great job, and there's a couple imperfections here and there, but I really think she did a bang up job on it. And this is her house. If she ever says, "Hey, I'm going home," this is where she'll call that until she doesn't want it anymore. You know what I mean? And that's big for me and my family, and just leaving something behind for them to have for themselves. And like I said, hey, we wake up and we all know at some point we're all gonna die, right? So wake up one day we're not here. They don't want to stay here. They can sell the place, and again, I'm not mad at them. Go ahead and sell the property, and divide the money between the two of yourselves, and then go and live a life. And it'd be better than starting from zero. You know what I mean? Start
Very true.
somewhere and give yourself an advantage in life, and that's what it's all about. That's why you're always trying to teach, people about the things that real estate does for you and your family. I mean, if you're gonna pay $2,700 for rent somewhere else, you can pay $2,700 for a mortgage. Yeah, it's just that simple.
Very
You
true.
know.
So, I guess me just asking you this. Let's say if I wanted to start up a place or get a place, would you suggest me then like trying to buy a place with a mortgage, or should I rent, especially down here where it's so expensive?
Well, like I said, the rent here is out of control. So first things first, we gotta assess your situation. What do you want to do? You want to live here in South Florida? That's a big thing, right? That's a big deal. Do you want to leave? So if you're leaving, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to buy, even though buying will then set you up to have a rental property. Do you want to buy a condo? You want to live in a home? You need a single family home? Do you need a yard? Do you have a 55-pound pit bull like I do, or do you that needs to go outside every now and again? You know what I mean? Or do you like to throw parties? All of these things factor in. So the first thing I would tell somebody like you, David, who's a single man, single from what I mean is not married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many girlies you got right now, but single, like not married, right? So I would tell a guy like you, like, listen, there's nothing wrong with you buying a condo, bro. Putting yourself in a position, one, you've got a steady job and it's held it for a long time. Hopefully you kept your credit up, and we have people who can help you if you haven't. But the very first thing we do is go through what's called a buyer's consultation. That gives you an opportunity to find out where you are in the process. Do you have good enough credit to buy? Do you have money saved up? Because it is going to cost you some money. Let's be real. This is not a free thing. And then and then three, where is it and what is it that you're looking for? So once we get those things all mapped out, then we write up a plan for you. You got the credit, you got money. Are you willing to do this process? We start sending you properties. You pick out the stuff that you like, and we start going to see them. The real estate market is so hot right now. There's people literally posting their homes on the MLS one day, and then they're under contract the next in 3 days. Like the homes aren't lasting a week.
Oh wow.
They're really going. They're really going that fast, and so you have to be quick, especially in this market. You have to be cunning. You have to make sure that you can articulate what it is that you're looking for. You have to get in touch with the listing agent and make sure that they know what you're looking for. And you have to make an impression. And once we get under contract, the rest is gravy, boss. You got a couple things that you got to do to finish up the process. But I would suggest for anybody, especially here in South Florida, to purchase. Rent is going to run you through the gamut. Your rent's going to go up every year. Your mortgage ain't going up every year. If you get a fixed income, a fixed interest rate, your mortgage ain't moving. So if you start out paying $2,000, it's going to be $2,000 for the remainder of your life. You know what usually does go up though every year? The amount of money you get paid. So imagine now it might be a little tight. Dang, $2,000. I don't know. But in 5 years, you've gotten a pay raise 5 years in a row. You might be able to afford it a little better, right?
You might not feel it as much.
Exactly. 10 years later. And then after a while, insurances drop off of the mortgage. So then your mortgage goes down depending on the particular mortgage that you have. You know what I mean? So all of this stuff is better than going to see a landlord. Now, the thing that renting does for you that's good is that if something breaks in the house, you turn to the landlord and say, hey, man, this thing broke, come fix it, right? In your case, if you're owning a place, you got to fix it yourself. But again, your mortgage ain't moving unless you take out another loan on your home. Your mortgage ain't moving. In most cases, it's going to go down at some point. So it will be my suggestion to anybody who's going to live here in the South Florida area to purchase a home. And then listen, let's say you wake up one day and you say, I want to move. I don't want to live here anymore. It's been 7 years later. I met this chick, we're going to move to Boston. You telling me that you bought a house in the Miami area and you can't Airbnb that house? You telling me you bought a house in the Miami area and you can't rent that house out for more than the money that you owe on the mortgage monthly? Come on, man. You can do it. You can do it. Now you have property invested in yourself and you're making money. Oh, the rent's $2,000. I'm charging you $2,700. So now this extra $700 I got, I'm keeping for whatever I need to do. Stats, dinners, anything. I'm taking my chick out to nice dinners every month. Hey, girl, let's go to Komodo. Shout out to Komodo. It's a great place to eat at. Let's go to KYU or Q as it's called. All of these places that you really want to go. Prime 112, where you're blowing all of this money on $300 dinners and stuff like that. I mean, which would you do? Yeah, man. So, or would you like to keep paying your landlord's rent? I mean, paying your landlord's mortgage.
That's very true. Everyone listening, if you wanna even just right, if they just want to talk and
Let us
throw
work it through
around
the
ideas
process.
like we're doing,
Absolutely.
go ahead
Absolutely.
down to yourrealestatewarrior.com, or you can email his lovely wife at Maya at trusteliteinc.com.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. We're here to help. Let us help you. Elite or else.
That's great. So I'm gonna leave that up during halftime, since we're still in the halftime before we move on to quarter number three. And something I wanted to talk about in quarter one, which was regarding the Olympics, and I feel like you might have a good idea with this as well.
For sure.
It's about Miss Simone Biles
The
and
GOAT.
that name that she gave herself. Um,
Well, listen, man. Let's talk brass tacks here. She's the greatest. She's the most decorated gymnast ever, right? I mean, did somebody surpass the amount of medals that she
are
has?
we talking about Olympics or just U.S.? Like, because in Olympic wise, she's not.
Okay. So,
U.S. wise, if you count Olympics, she's, I believe, tied for the most medals.
is
But
it
when you
with
count like
Felix?
all, I'm sorry.
Who's she tied with? Is it with Felix or is it with Mike Phelps?
No, no, no. So I'm just talking about gymnast
Gymnast. Oh,
wise.
okay, for sure. Let's
Yeah,
go.
she's tied. Yeah, I think Phelps has a ton more Olympics wise, because she has 8 total Olympic medals, but she has a lot more like the national ones,
Oh yeah, for sure.
where she has like 30 something, I believe. Which, yeah, there's no denying how great she is. She's
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
she's got stunts named after her. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
so. Here, I
that's
gotta.
usually how that works. You start getting in this position where you're getting things named after you. The fadeaway, the LeBron sidestep 3-pointer. Then it's great.
All right, so look, just so I can let you know, in the Olympics wise for gymnast,
Mhm.
she's tied for the U.S. most with 7, with Shannon Miller.
Okay.
They both had 7. Simone Biles does have more gold medals than her. However, the most decorated gymnast of all time is Larissa. I don't want to Latnina. I hope I
Yeah.
said that right. From the Soviet
Oh,
Union, that
yeah,
has
for sure.
18 total medals.
Beast mode.
Yeah. So, which I mean, Simone could have caught her if what happened this year didn't happen.
Right.
So here's where I want to talk about the self-proclaimed goat. I feel like if she would have came out, remember she gave herself this goat name, right?
Right, right,
She
right.
she
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 did
put
this to
the
herself.
she put the little
You
she put
bought
the
this
little
on
goat
yourself.
she put the little goat on her leotard.
Hmm.
That's and went out there and performed.
Right.
The team finals happens. She messes up on the vault. They take her off. Right. It's said that she has an injury. So completely understand. Like, okay, like she's hurt. Then she comes out, says she's not hurt. Says that it's the mental health thing. But then after says that it's the twisties,
Right.
which for everyone that doesn't know what the twisties is, it's like vertigo for a gymnast. Am I right?
Hmm.
So then it starts going back and forth of what the real case was. Then she's saying she's not having fun at the Olympics, which is a whole nother thing.
Right.
Then she comes out and basically up until the last event, which was the beam, says that she's going to compete in that one, and she ends up getting bronze.
Right.
I feel like one or two things happened here. She did get the twisties, and she should have said that from the start,
Right.
right? Which is completely understandable if it was that, because as a gymnast, you need to know where you're going. You can't
For
be doing
sure.
all these flips and being like, "Am I upside down? Like, what side am I?" Because you really hurt yourself.
Right. And I'll talk about that in a second. Go for it.
Yeah, right. The next thing is that maybe she didn't want to compete in all the other events, and I feel like at her status, she can say that. She can be like, "Okay, I'm gonna do the team event. I don't want to do these other events, and I want to do that event." I feel like who she is, that'd be okay.
Right. They would
Absolutely.
have
Just
they would
say
have
this.
allowed her that opportunity for sure.
Yeah. The other thing is the whole them not having fun. It's the Olympics. Is it really fun for anybody? It's fun at the end. You're competing. It's supposed to be serious work. You're supposed to be focused and just you're. I mean, it's fun if you win.
Yeah,
It's fun until the end, but
you're
getting there
you're,
is not
you're here
technically supposed to
now.
be fun.
Yeah, you're here now. It's time for you to go after it. So the part about not having fun is really the only thing that I really have a big issue about because again, yeah, basketball players to tell you that it's fun to compete, and yeah, football players to tell you that it's fun. But when it gets down to the big time, it ain't fun no more. We're all hurt somewhere along the line. You know what I mean? They'll all tell you that hey, nobody's 100% now. We made it to the playoffs. We're at the Super Bowl. We're at the NFC Championship game, AFC Championship game. We're at the NBA Finals, NBA semifinals, or whatever the case may be. It's not fun anymore. I'm hurting. I'm sure I played 82 games this year, whatever the case may be. Those kind of things happen. So I'm sure for her, yeah, it ain't fun, but listen, I'm not trying to get your show taken out the thing, but suck it up, Buttercup. That's the only thing I can say about that one. Now, again, her being a gymnast is something close to my heart because my daughter's a gymnast, right? And so I asked her about this. I'm like, yo, this, she's in my daughter's eyes, she's got the hard eyes for her, so she can do no wrong. So I'm like, listen, she's saying that she's got the twisties. You know what that is? She was like, yeah, it's kind of a real thing, like overcoming the fear to do some of these things is really more amazing than actually performing or actually doing them. Like I've seen my daughter go from doing a jump split on the beam, which means she's going to leave her feet and come back and land without falling, to doing a full a back tuck on a beam and not falling. So now I'm leaving my feet. Now I'm not just jumping off in the air. Now I'm going upside down and got to land this on the opposite end. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. And for the amount of time that she twists, turns, and backflips in the air, and at the velocity she does it, if she's not getting these counts down right, she can die, literally die. So for those kind of things, I can say, okay, listen, I can't fault you for those. If you have the twisties like you said it is, please come sit over here by me, ma'am, because the last thing we need is for you, one of the greatest, if not, it depends on who you ask, just like any other thing, it's all subjective. One of the greatest people to ever do this. The last thing we need is to see you landing it and a bone sticking out of your leg because you try to do something that you just weren't mentally prepared for, or landing on your head and they got to cut the camera away because your family's watching. You know what I mean? So those kind of things you have to give her leeway on. And then like you spoke to, I think they would have gave her all the leeway in the world. She literally could have walked in and said, hey, I'm doing floor, I'm doing vault, and that's it. Or I'm doing floor, I'm doing bars, that's it. And I'll do beam if I feel like it. But like this is what I'm doing. And they were gonna say, okay, cool, no problem. We have other people to fill in the things, but we need you to get these points for us. We need you to go out there and get these gold medal level type of points for us so we can win as a team and all of us can bite on the gold medal after it's over. And so, like I said, I can only speak to the portion about her saying that it's not fun anymore because, like I said, it's not going to be fun for anybody at that stage in the game. You've worked your whole life for this. You would like for it to be fun, sure. But I mean, I can only speak to my highest achievement in basketball. Like I worked my whole life and made it to the high school level. I played a little college, but my high school level, and we made it to the state Final Four. And yeah, all of the stuff that happened before that was fun. But when the playoffs kicked in, it wasn't fun no more, man, because it was a weight on you that you wanted to carry. You knew you were good. People gave you people put that expectation on you for you to get to that point. And when we got to the state Final Four, it wasn't fun. It was hard and it was a challenge and we lost, whatever. But it was great to be there. It was a great experience. And before and after the game was fun. During the game wasn't fun. I wish we would have won, but it's just a difficult thing. And anybody that works that hard to get to the pinnacle of their sport, when you get to the end, you would hope that it would be fun. But in most cases, most people will tell you, no, it ain't fun until you either won or lost. And then they can tell you, yes, the experience was great. But that part, like I said, I ain't trying to get your show shut down.
No, it's okay.
But suck it up, Buttercup. That's one thing she's gotta miss me with.
No, and it's like I said, I agree with you. Like that's why my biggest thing is what was if it was the twisties, they should have said that from the start. It
Yeah.
was just the everything that it was. Oh, it's an injury. Wait, no, it's not an injury. Now it's the mental health thing. Now it's the twisties. Like that was my only big thing where I feel like it should have just been straightforward, and I feel like that kind of cost her a little bit more. Where if
Mm,
she would have just came out and been like, "Look, I'm gonna do the team and do what I want to do, and that's it," like who's gonna blame her?
yeah,
No
yeah.
one's gonna
Again,
blame her.
nobody's gonna blame her, and like I said, the thing is that we now get opportunity because if this was 1997, like we would never know like the real story, right? We would only know the opportunity when she got a chance to speak on it in the mic, and that's it. But we now have 550 million, media outlets. Everybody's got an opinion, just like we have, and I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? But it's all speculation, bro. Like what really happened? Maybe she was beefing with the boyfriend, and I'm not saying that to knock her, because this can happen with any of us, right? Like I tell people all the time, I don't function well when me and my wife are in arguments. Like my day doesn't go well when I got problems at home. So it could have been anything, and they could have just said, hey, look, this is what we're going to tell them because we don't need them into this part of your life. And it's just it's sad that it sucks that it happened the way it did, whether it was the twisties or a mental health situation, or she just wasn't having fun and she didn't want to do it anymore. It really sucks because it feels like it robbed us of a way to do it. But kudos to her for being able to speak up and say whatever it is that she needs to say and do, or whatever the case may be, for for herself to be to be safe, and to speak to a situation where I'm sure there's been a billion of us saying, listen, I can't do this, man. I'm about to throw up in the trash can before this whole thing start. She's gonna go out there and go Willie beaming on the floor.
uh, no, you're right though. All right, so we'll cut that off there at halftime. Once again, down at the bottom, if you need to talk real estate, you have Jason here. You have his
Yep, hit
lovely
us up,
wife
man.
Maya. You
Absolutely.
can you can find them at yourrealestatewarrior.com, or you can email his lovely wife Maya at trusteliteinc.com. And I'll bring that back at the end of the show as well.
For sure, for
So
sure.
next up, you ready for quarter number three?
I'm always ready, man. Let's get it. I love talking sports with you, David. This is what we do, man. This is
All
our
right.
this is like hanging out in the luggage hall, bro. I'm ready.
The good old days, the good old days. All right, so I'm starting up the clock, and we're gonna actually go back to something that we are gonna talk in quarter number two, and
Hmm.
before we get to the stuff in three, and that is LeBron's new super team, as we like to
Uh,
say.
Here we
The
go.
Lakers
Everybody's
made
got super team now, right?
I mean, the Lakers made some very key moves again. They got themselves Russell Westbrook.
For sure.
They got themselves Melo.
Mellow.
I mean, is he finally gonna win a ring? How do you feel? Is this a super team or not?
Okay, so if they're all healthy, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, is it the definition of a super team? I guess the only thing you can say is that LeBron's past his prime. I mean, I guess you would call LeBron's Heat and next and second level calf runs his prime. So I guess you can call him past his prime, but AD, a healthy AD. I hope he got on whatever LeBron's workout regimen is over the summer, because that would have been my thing. Like the first thing I would have said was, "Hey man, let's call you in for your postseason meeting." Say, "Hey, so how do you plan on working out for the season?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go." No, you're not. No, you're not. You're gonna go see LeBron and him and whatever him and Tom Brady are doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. No, no, no. Don't say nothing. Don't say anything. That's what you're doing. Go to the gym with them. Go do whatever stretches they're doing. Go do whatever workouts they're doing. Pay the same people that they're paying to help them stay limber and be in the game this long without all of these soft tissue injuries. And that's what we need you to do this offseason. I need you to come back bulked up. I need you to have muscle on top of muscle. Get you some traps. Get your brow some muscles. Whatever it is you need to do, I need you to go do that. And that's it. And thank you so much for the meeting. It was great. You have a great day. But go see LeBron. LeBron's in the hallway waiting for you. LeBron, come get AD, please. And
LeBron
so
walks in and he's like, "All right, I'm ready for you."
I'm
He
ready.
puts
Let's
him in
do
the
it.
hyperbolic time chamber he has in his house and just gets him all ready for the season.
Absolutely. So that's the first thing. So if we can keep AD hurt, we got a chance. Because any day he can go off and do what he needs to do. So that's one. So we got him. LeBron. even slightly past his prime, even in the year what? This is gonna be year 19?
19.
Jeez. So year 19, slightly past his prime, is still better than 90% of the league. So I'm with that. I love Russ. Never had really a problem with Russell Westbrook in his game because anybody that plays that hard deserves your kudos, right? They deserve your accolades. There's nobody in this game now goes out there and goes as hard as Russell goes. Nobody. He's probably the hardest player I've ever seen play in real time, like in real life. Him and maybe Dennis Rodman when he's not, goofing off. But in real time, that's nobody plays that hard. So having that amount of talent on the floor at one time is great. But you got to be wary of role players, right? Any championship team is going to tell you that the role players are what helps you get over these humps. People that aren't afraid of the moment and can go out there and perform at the height of their career, at an elite level at the right time. So for these wonderful people, what we need them to do and what we brought in, thank God, are some shooters. And I'm so happy about that because this was what we were lacking, right? We didn't necessarily need shooters against the Heat because we were just so much bigger than them in the finals, right? We beat them on rebounds, we beat them on defense, and them not being able to get to the basket a whole lot. But then the following year, we got rid of that size and realized, okay, well, if we play with slow size, we need shooters. And we didn't have that at all.
You had
Melo,
Kuzma.
man, listen, man, don't bring that guy up anymore, bro. Like, I ain't mad at Kuzma, right? I'm sure he at some point was told that he was going to be the man and like he didn't get that opportunity. I'm sure he's sour patch about that, right? So good luck to him in Washington. I actually think that Washington's going to have a playoff team. You can write that down. I think Washington's going to be a playoff team with what they end up acquiring for Russ along with Bradley Beal. But Kuz he doesn't fit well with LeBron. He needs to be a volume shooter. We don't need that over here, buddy. Like he needs to play every night 26, 27, 30 minutes a game for him to be able to continue to produce the way he thinks he should produce, and I think the way people wanted him to produce, right? But for the Lakers and what they have, bringing in Wayne Ellington, who's a shooter, bringing in Melo, who's somebody who's clutch, one, but then he's also a shooter. So all of those people who used to say, oh, yeah, the guy's just going to stand in the corner and wait for LeBron to throw it to him with 2 seconds left on the clock. Yes, please throw that ball. Yes, please throw that ball at him. Throw it to him. Please throw it to him because he's going to make that three-pointer in the corner, bro.
I mean, he was making them with Portland the last 2 years.
And that's all they really need. We're not begging you to go out here and recreate the real. I don't need to see you in your Denver days, bro. I need you to go out here, and when we give you the ball, you go score. Give me 14 a game, and I ain't mad at you.
So I got Dwight back.
And listen, I'm not gonna lie, man.
Got his money and came back.
I was mad that we got rid of Dwight. Listen, Dwight's a great compliment to LeBron. He's not going to get in LeBron's way. He's not going to complain about not getting the ball. He's going to be in there to rebound. He's going to not let you get buckets. Easy, just finger rolls at the basket. No, there's no more rim protectors. He's the last him, JaVale McGee, like, and what's my guy's name? And the French guy, he plays for Utah.
Oh, Ibaka? No.
No.
Gobert.
Gobert. These are
$200 million double, man.
Ibaka's always got his back problem, so I can't pull him out the hat. But these are the last rim. There's like 4 rim protectors left, and we got one of them. I'm never mad at that. Him and AD at least are going to go after these shots. You're not going to just be in here doing layups and dropping paints in the butt.
It's not going to be easy in the paint.
Exactly, and that's what we need. You know what I mean? And when you got a guy like Frank Vogel, who again may not be the best offensive minded coach, but on defense, if I'm going to hold you to 100 to under 100 points in this league, I'm winning. In this league now, I'm winning. I'm getting W's. Under 100, I'm getting W's. So I'm excited for us. Can I automatically call out and say we're going to win the championship? No. Why? Because the Nets are out there, and if these people end up in the finals healthy, if they end up in the finals healthy, You ain't beating these people, and that's just my personal opinion.
Oh
And I'm a Laker
wow.
fan, but I don't think I honestly think if, like I said, if Kevin Durant has Harden or Kyrie, they win the finals this year. That's my personal opinion. I don't see the Bucks beating them, and I surely don't see the Suns beating them, who got lucky and was the healthiest team at the end of this whole thing.
They both were because we didn't talk about Milwaukee, but they played a Miami Heat team that were just all out of sorts.
Yeah, they were
They
just kind of
played
all over the place.
the Nets got hurt, and then the Hawks, their number one guy, who Trey was giving it to them by himself,
Listen, they
gets
they
hurt
had they had
because
me
of ref.
scared for a second. They had me scared. I was like, wait, are the Hawks gonna end up in the finals? This kid's shooting it from the logo, bro. Just straight off the pig. Just I got this, man. Let's see it.
And it didn't matter if they were down by like 20 or what it was. He's like, I'm still gonna keep shooting, and he
No,
kept
we
doing
got
it.
this.
And
And every time gave him a chance. He gave him a chance, and that's all you really want. Now you look at that Hawks team and go to yourself, you get them a piece or two, they might be all right.
it's true.
They might be all right.
Very true. I like them a little bit more than the Utah Jazz that have, like you just mentioned, Mister $200 man. That what is he average? 10 and 10, 11 and 11, and two
Yeah,
hundred million dollars, and
yeah,
then he
but
gets exposed against the Clippers.
yeah, but that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? That's gonna happen. That's what this league is about. Like you show me one or two inconsistencies in your game, and you're in trouble. You're in trouble. This is one of the reasons why Phoenix lost in the finals, is because they thought that DeAndre Aiden was going to be able to contain Giannis, and instead of building a wall like the Heat showed you how to do, hey, hello, this is the blueprint. See it right here. This is what we're doing. Exhibit A, build the wall against Giannis. It's called the Giannis wall. He even mentions it. Like, you can't tell me it's not in this kid's mind. So at least let him see the wall. You didn't even give it to him. This guy runs
Nope.
through this thing and dominates you the whole time. So
Four
it's
games in
gonna
a row,
be
like
a
you said.
if we get everybody back healthy at the beginning, it's gonna be a great NBA season, man. They've been putting out great product lately.
Absolutely. There's a lot. I feel like it's a lot more balanced than it was a couple years ago, where you just had
Oh, for
it was
sure.
either the Warriors and then LeBron James, wherever he
Yeah,
was at.
wherever he was at, it's gonna be there. Shout out to LeBron, GOAT number two. He ain't better than Mike, but that's a whole other story too.
Oh, but speaking of that, I know it's not on our list, but have you seen the new Space Jam?
I have seen it in spurts. So my son's seen it
Okay.
like 6 times, but
Okay, so he's it really enjoyed it.
yeah. But that's also like I watched Space Jam, the original Space Jam, that many times too, right? So
Oh
I
yeah,
can,
yeah.
yeah,
Growing up, I mean, that movie was all just
yeah,
even when it would
yeah,
just be on TV, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna watch Space Jam.
exactly. Exactly. So if that's the case, I'm going. I mean, it was good enough to watch, though. Don't get me wrong. I saw some people that were like, "Oh, it's trash." It's a kids movie, homie. Like, do you if
It's
you if
they're putting too
listen
much into the like. I don't know what they expect. It's just like with Mortal Kombat. I heard some people like bashing, and I'm like, you have to know what you're getting. Like, what movie you're gonna go watch. You're not watching an Academy Award winning or nominating movie. You're watching a cartoon, or you're watching a movie based on a video game. Like,
exactly.
you have to know what you're gonna watch. You can't expect Oscar winning performances.
Listen, I went back and watched the Thundercats. Right. I went back and watched the Thundercats. I streamed it. I said, "Oh my god, I remember this." You know what? I was just sitting around with it. I was like, you know what? Thundercats was the shit back in the day. I'm gonna go back and watch Thundercats. It's not that good. It's just not that good. And the thing is like it's not for you, 37, 38-year-old Jason. It's not for you. You know who it's for? It's for 10-year-old Jason. It's for 8-year-old Jason. For when you were sitting in the house and you wanted to go Thundercats, Thundercats, Thundercats. Oh, that was it. That was it. So this Space Jam, even though I watched it as a 38-year-old man, it it's not for me, but I said yes, it was entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It was great that the Granny did what she did. The Porky Pig rap game was pretty tight. I give it. It did what it was supposed to do. It entertained.
That brings us to the end of quarter number three. That's good. I still have yet to see it. I promised my my co-host that I would wait to see it so we can talk about it
Critique
on
it
here.
together.
I'm waiting. I'm probably gonna have to wait a little bit longer before I see it, but yeah, we'll
Listen,
see.
it's
Again,
got.
I hope it's like again. I know how I feel about I have my LeBron James like hate that I have, but I really hope that it's good just because again, like we just talked about, I enjoyed the original and I still do. So I want him to succeed in it just because it's like another step to that.
I mean,
And why
just
not have the new generation like it and be like, "Oh, wow, this is so good. Let me go watch the other one."
think about it like this. Like, remember the graphics and everything that came with the first one back in the day. Like, if you watch it now, it's like, yo, this is throwback. It's like it's almost the same thing, just better graphics. You know what I mean? It's not people. Anybody who called it horrible is one of those people. And you know how this goes. They're LeBron haters. You know what I mean? And they got an attitude or whatever it is he does. Just like the people who are like so
That
pro LeBron that they're anti Michael Jordan. Like, why can't you just enjoy both?
I
Like,
saw a meme
you
actually
can't like
about it.
Pepsi and Coke. Is that not? I drink both. What's the problem?
I saw a meme that was LeBron James with his stunt double in the movie,
Hmm.
and of course it was a LeBron hate one. They're like, "Oh, look at that! LeBron James even needs a stunt double to be in a movie that's based on basketball." And I'm like, really?
You think
Like
Mike
that's the
was
hate?
out? You think Mike was out there strung up and going up in there? You think the Bulls were going for that? When he was getting ready to come back, you think the Bulls were like, "Yeah, Mike, go do fake stunts and fly over. Yeah, go do it, Mike."
I
No,
mean, I don't know. Michael Jordan was playing in the middle of whenever they had a break in the shoot. You saw that, right? In
yeah,
the
yeah,
30 for
yeah.
30, he
No,
had a whole thing built just to go play basketball.
listen, and that's kudos to this. Just further goes to show why Mike is the GOAT. He made them build him a gym, homie. Oh, you want me to be in this movie? Cool, but I need a place to hoop at. No worries. We're gonna clear out this lot over here. Nobody uses it anyway. Give you a full court gym with weights and stuff on the side. We're gonna have trainers there ready for you.
Invite who you want to invite to play.
That's GOAT status right there, homie. GOAT status right there. And again, no knock to LeBron. No knock to LeBron, homie. But Mike's that dude. Mike's
He
that dude.
is, and especially after that last dance.
Mike's that dude. Like you can't sit here and pretend like this guy's not just. There are things that separate people. There just are. I've seen LeBron in situations where he had every opportunity to take advantage of getting W's. Don't get me wrong, he made the right basketball play. Don't get me wrong. He's to me dragged teams to the finals that Mike wouldn't have drugged to the finals. He probably wouldn't have drugged them there because he probably would have killed two of the guys on the team for sucking. You know what I mean? That's just it's not in his nature to be a coddler or a nurturer or somebody to help you along the way.
No, sure.
But
It's
when
like, did you hear the Luke Longley thing that's been coming out lately?
no,
I think he was saying when they were playing the Jazz in the finals that Luke in the first quarter had like 12 points, 4 rebounds, and like 4 blocks, and they were up by like 15 or something like that. And he goes to Luke, "Yeah, that's exactly how you play, Luke." And then he was like all confident, "Okay, we're gonna win this game." They end up Luke's final stat line was 12 points, 4 rebounds, four
exactly the
blocks,
same.
and they lost by 15. And he's like, "That was the last time I gave Luke Longley a compliment."
Listen, we can't do that. Like LeBron's gonna be like, yeah, that's my boy. And listen, Luke wouldn't have finished with that stat line with LeBron. Why? Because LeBron would have gave him the ball a bunch more times for him to get buckets. But that ain't Mike's game. And Mike is that assassin, that kind of cold killer to go out there and do what he's got to do. And if you put him in a situation where he needs to go out and get a W, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna do.
Very true.
He
He'll
would have
put it
been.
on his back.
And listen, I'm one of the biggest Kobe fans ever. And if they're like, okay, here's your lineup of two guards, pick one. I ain't picking over Mike. I ain't picking nobody over Mike. I don't care what.
Nah.
What's this guy's name? Oh man, he used to be the Indiana coach. I'm so horrible with names today. Um, Dag it. Anyway, he used to be the Indiana coach. It'll come to me later. And they say, hey, they asked him about who Portland should draft in the NBA draft that year because they knew that the first pick was going to be Elijah Wan to Houston. Portland had the second pick. They already had Clyde Drexler. So they say, who you think they should draft? Well, they're like, well, Portland needs a center. He said, well, listen, draft Michael Jordan and let him play center. Because if you pass on Mike, you're gonna have a problem. And they passed Mr. Sam Bowie.
Oh
That
boy.
guy. Come on, man.
Forever infamous, and
Oh,
not
my
for the
God.
right reasons.
That guy needs a hug every day. It's like somebody just needs to get up and hug him. It's all right, man. It wasn't your fault. You know, you got injured. It ain't your fault, though.
All right, we're gonna jump into quarter number 4, the last quarter. Throw them fours up there, and we're gonna try to run these off as quick as possible. So first up, you again. The show is catered for you.
Oh, let's do it, baby. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Sadly, this past weekend we had the passing of FSU's say greatest coach, Mr. Bobby Bowden.
Absolutely.
So, yourself, I want to hear what was your fondest memory of his tenure there at FSU.
Well, one thing I always loved about Bobby is that he had no problem with taking control of whatever was going on. There were times where we were in situations where we needed like 1 yard, and we had pass happy offense. This was the years of Chris Winkie and what's my guy's name, Anquan Bolden. We had all of these great receivers, so we used to Peter Warwick. So we wanted to throw it around the yard, right? It'd be like 3rd and 3 on like the 30-yard line. And everybody's thinking like, oh yeah, I mean like 3rd and 1, like on the 30-yard line. And everybody thinking like, oh, maybe they're gonna go deep. And you see all of a sudden, Bobby never had on a headset. But he get a headset at that point, and you look to the sideline, and they'll take the snap and hand it off to William Floyd, and he'll go and get like 3 yards up the middle for a touchdown, or 3 yards up the middle for a first down. And they look back to the sideline, and Bobby's over there with a headset on, and that's how you knew he was like, "Hey, run the fucking ball, dummy." We're not gonna win this. I guess I know who's out there. I know Peter's out there. Yep. Yep. Hey, I know Anquan's. Hey, don't worry about it. Run the fucking ball, dummy. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I love the fact that every now and again when he needed to jump in, he did so. But I also love the fact that he went out and found players, much like the other people that play, in the southern portions of Florida. We're not even gonna say their names. There's something wrong with your hands, David. Something happened to your hands. I think your thumbs got stuck together or something like that.
Was it too much to the right, or
No,
was it too much to the left?
I think something's wrong with your hands. Like maybe you got glue on them and your thumbs stuck together. But don't worry about it. We can fix that later. There's TikTok life hacks to get that taken care of. But that he went out and just got players and gave them opportunities to do and be different. You know what I mean? And a lot of that stuff changed, lives of families forever and forever and forever. Only thing I regret is seeing what would have happened with that. With Randy Moss, he had opportunity to stay in Florida State because he was right around that same time as Anquan. Oh my God, this would have been crazy, my boy.
Thank God for the youth. Thank God we did not have to deal with that because that would have been.
God, it would have been.
You guys would have not needed to bring out the field goal kicker there, which you probably shouldn't have brought him out there multiple times.
Exactly, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But oh my God, it would have been nasty. So shout out to Bobby Bowden, man, the whole Bowden family. Yeah. He's gonna be missed. I know a lot of those players are probably sick to their stomach, man. Probably looks up to this guy as a father figure. And for those of us who are fans, man, it was just great to see him walking the sideline. You knew if we had Bobby, you know what I'm saying, we had a decent enough team to go out there and at least, compete. And so it gave us something to brag about, something to talk about, something to be a rival with University of Miami, University of Florida. Those rivalries would never be. I mean, that era was just so rich in football, man, and it was amazing. So
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you came to play football for one of those schools. Everywhere in the country you were coming, you weren't going to Alabama or Oklahoma, maybe Notre Dame. Just because of the name of it, but besides that, you were coming down here. You were coming to go play for Bobby. You were coming down here to play for the U. And
immediately, you just hated the other squad. That was it. Like you could have grew up a UM fan and then get recruited by UM and end up going to Florida. You immediately hated Florida State and UM.
Or be best friends, and you guys went to different schools.
Yep.
And now it's like, hey,
it's
I hate your guts.
Immediate hate. You know what I mean? I loved it. I thought it was great. I always found it interesting for people to talk about like the rivalries in the Midwest, like Ohio State and Michigan and stuff like that. And they were like, "Oh, these are the greatest rivalries ever." I'm like, "Dog, have you seen these games? Have you seen the game when when Peter Ward knocks off? I mean, not Peter Ward. What's that guy? Peter Board knocks off Najee Davenport's helmet and drops it on the ground. Have you seen these games where
It's just so much hate.
when Sean Taylor is knocking off people's blocks on the sideline? And,
Well, that was every game.
yeah, well, I mean,
Sean
shout
Taylor.
out to Sean, man. That man was such a beast out there. You know, rest in peace to him too. But there's just so many things. So it was always interesting to me to see that these people were like, "Oh, these other people are so amazing." Like, have you not seen these games? And it could be any of the three: UM versus UF, Florida State versus Florida, Florida State versus UM. I mean, any of these games is gonna be, amazing talent out there. I mean, look at the amount of people that just went into the that go into the Hall of Fame from the University of Miami, from Florida State. These are all-time elite people, like in NFL history. Period. Like
Exactly.
if you're lining up a team, you ain't lining them up without these guys.
Absolutely not. And that's why like the drafts used to be you were picking from one of those two schools. The first round, second round, you're like, all right, who's available still? All right,
Yeah.
I'm getting that guy from that
Get
school.
that guy. Get that guy. He's a dog. So yeah, man. Shout out to Bobby Bowden, man. That's. I mean, glad he lived a nice, long, full life, man. But definitely be missed, at least in my eyes. And I'm just happy I got an opportunity to see it.
Absolutely. One of the all-time greats. All right, so we're going to stick to the NCAA football talk. And well, I guess a couple months ago, it was announced that college athletes are now going to be able to get paid, which is something that a lot of people have been fighting for. And some people have, been penalized for, like Reggie Bush, which I think it's silly. And, a lot of college athletes, some of them don't get like a full ride and they have like families that they're still trying to take care of. So I think this is
For sure.
fantastic. They're able to finally make money off of themselves because that's what the NCAA has been doing for years. And I think it's great. How about you?
Oh man, it's a long time coming. Long time coming. They shorted so many people. Can you imagine the amount of money people like Peter Ward? Can you imagine the amount of money that Tim Tebow would have made? I hate Tim Tebow. Throwing it out there. Like as a Florida State fan, you hated to see this guy on the other side of it because you knew he was coming to get W's. Can you imagine the amount of money that Tim Tebow, cookie cutter Tim Tebow,
He would have been on everything.
square jawed, good looking, Tim Tebow with the dirt on his face in a game, seething to go out there and get a victory. Can you imagine the amount of money that people like Tim Tebow would have won? Can you imagine?
Like I said, he would have been on absolutely every single thing.
Everything, milk boxes, the Wheaties box, everything. And these colleges have benefited, gotten so much money, bro, from these guys' backs. And finally they get the opportunity to make that money. Any of us go to college, we have the opportunity to stop doing what we want, what we're doing, and go out and make money. This is my major, great. This is what I came here to focus on, great. But I can go out and make money. But they can't. You have to be married to this because you think that it's going to corrupt them because they get opportunity to get money from somewhere. It's
And some people don't make it out of that. Like some people devote their 4 years, 5 years to football in college, and they don't get drafted.
yeah.
That was it. They give up all that, and then after that, they're trying to figure it out. Like, okay, what do I do now?
What do I do now? Now I never had a chance to go out and make a hustle or figure out what I wanted to do because I was so busy playing football. So now what? And now that this is why the therapist office is so big, so full because these guys now have to figure it out and have to talk through it. Like this gives you that outlet. This gives you opportunity. This gives you a chance to make money before you even get to the league. I mean, the quarterback for UM already is like he went from being a broke college kid to a millionaire in like 2 days. So kudos to them for giving them the opportunity to go out and make that
Absolutely.
money.
And
And
also, if someone gets hurt too, like you can be a fantastic player, and then you suffer like a crazy injury, and what now?
Listen, I mean not Najee. Willis McGahee's knee injury was devastating, right? If he takes a turn of that or that thing goes wrong, the surgery goes wrong, he never plays football again. Luckily enough, he had an insurance policy, but he never plays football again. Now what do? Go coach football at the Y? Like that's not money. You went to the University of Miami. You saw people out here driving Maseratis to school, bro. Like this is this is not like you weren't out there just kicking it and just hanging out. Like you went to school with some of the most wealthy people in the whole wide world, and then you got to go back to that. Come on, man, give me an opportunity to make the same money. This is America where you can dream up anything and get to that dream. Allow me to do so, even though I play college basketball, football, baseball, whatever the case may be. Oh,
Absolutely.
and the greatest thing of it all is it brings back the video game NCAA.
Oh,
This is the greatest thing of it all. Like, if we screw
absolutely.
everybody,
Because
this is the
I'm
best thing
tired of
ever.
Madden. I'm ready for a new game,
Yeah,
and I would
man.
love to play with that.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't even think there's another football game out there. Like, is there any other?
Nope. That's why all the Maddens. I mean, I want to say for the last couple of years have all been the same thing. It's
Yeah,
just repackaging with an updated roster or
yeah.
whatever
I don't need to
the
do
was it the
anything. I
all
don't have
time
it.
team that you can play with?
I don't
That you
have
create
a.
your team?
Yeah, I don't have a what you call it. I don't have a rival in this. So we get just put it out there again. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. So I think this is fantastic for them all around for the athlete. I'm so happy for them.
Definitely a good job. Definitely a good thing.
Next thing up is the NCAA football wants to make the playoffs from the four teams and jump it up to 12. Now, when I first heard this, I wasn't. I was kind of like baffled just because now I feel like all the bowl games are going to be irrelevant. The bowl games become irrelevant. Now
Right.
it's just a playoff seeding, and the bowl games are just like it used to be like, oh, you got to a bowl game. Wow, that's a great accomplishment
Yeah,
for
it's a
your
big
team.
accomplishment.
Now
Absolutely.
it's like, okay, whatever, who cares about the bowl games now? Like it diminishes your Orange Bowls, uh,
Rose
your
Bowl.
Rose Bowls, your Sugar Bowls, like all this. It becomes irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the national championship. When
Right.
before you made it to the Orange Bowl, you're like, wow, you did good. The Rose Bowl, wow, okay, you had a good season. Like you
Right.
were
That was a
able.
big
The
deal. It
Cotton
was a big
Bowl.
deal.
Now I feel
Listen,
like that kind of diminishes the bowls, and it. I'm
I,
I'm for it because you get a lot more different playoff matchups, but the bowl games are going to take a huge hit, I believe now.
they're going to take a hit unless they kind of try to incorporate them in the playoff scheme. Now, I'm not sure how they can do that. I'm
Well,
not
that's how
saying
they
that
did it now. It's where like the winner of the Orange Bowl, I think,
right,
or but
like
then
the
now it's like what Alabama's gonna have like four uh bowl championships if they win it all. Like
yeah, more than
it kind of
likely.
gets silly. Like so you're
Yeah,
like, okay, Bama won the, let's say the Sugar Bowl, then the Orange Bowl, and then the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and then the national championship,
and
and
then
it's
yeah,
like,
he's
okay,
got
that
they got
kind of
four rings and
overkill.
then the big nugget on the end for the national championship. Bama's probably going to end up winning it all anyway. I think they're cheating at this point, but whatever. What are you going to do, right? So, but like I get that it's going to take away from the bowl games, but once they implemented the playoffs, I immediately said, "Yo, it's got to be more than four teams. It's got to be more than four. Four is not enough." That was from the jump. That's how I felt. Four is just not enough. You can't tell me that you can objectively say, and this has happened every year. Oh, there's a one loss team that didn't get in, but that SEC team that played all of this great schedule, they ended up getting in, but they had one loss too. Like you can't do it.
Well, last year I felt like even though they made it to the national championship, that Ohio State shouldn't have been there. They played six total games. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand that
like
some
how is
of them
that
got.
fair?
I understand that some of them were canceled because of COVID, but
Right,
how is that fair to your Clemson that's played 12 games and they're 11-1? How is that like the wear and tear still gets to that team
for
that the
sure.
6-0 team had breaks in between. They played a game and then they'd be off for like 2 weeks, then play another game. Like I didn't think that they belonged there at
And
all.
in football especially, your body has wear and tear like crazy. Like you gotta that was an unfair advantage altogether. COVID that whole COVID season is so you got to put a little star next to that one. But when it comes to this, let's say we're gonna play a full season. Prayerfully, COVID finally goes away, and we get in a situation where we can actually go out there and play. I am here for all of these extra people that they're gonna have in there. The matchups. Remember, this is not like playoff basketball where you give these guys opportunity to play a series, of 7 game series, and figure out who's the better team. This is one
One
game,
game.
one game. And if you go out there and go Boise State on these people, and for whatever reason, you run a hook and ladder and win a game over one of these big teams, what are we doing here? We're celebrating. We're dancing, baby. Let's do it. I'm so excited for that. It ain't funny, and I know those matchups are gonna really be the difference in everything. You put these guys in. Put some of these teams. Oh, Bama versus Oklahoma, or Bama versus what are these people's name? Some of these like the Texas Tech, where they come out there and throw the ball 87 times in a game.
Or an Auburn if they play, because Auburn usually has their number.
Yeah, with that funky offense, right? You go out there and kick somebody's butt, and anything can happen. So I'm here for the expansion altogether. 12 might have been a little too much. I didn't know it was going to jump so high so fast, but I'm still here for the extra.
Yeah.
Here
No,
for
you're right. My biggest thing is just the bowl games. I feel like
Yeah,
take a
for sure.
huge hit, so it's like I feel like they have to accommodate something to it, where they either take them all away or you make it meaningful.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all
All
right.
right,
Well,
but somebody who gets paid a lot more money than us
oh
has to
yeah,
go out
they're
and
good.
make that
It's
decision.
their
Good,
job to figure it out.
good luck.
All right. Well, we wrapped up quarter number 4, and I still wanted to get through one last thing before
Let's
we
do
jump
it.
into OT. So we'll call this I don't know, pre overtime, or
This is
we'll
this is
call
the this is the coin toss right here before before OT.
so you are a 49ers fan, and I want to
All day, every
know
day.
what you feel about the offseason they've had.
All right, so one, I am not mad that we selected Trey Lance, but I am right. So Jimmy showed the tendency of getting hurt. We traded for him. He got hurt the first season, missed the rest of the year. The one full season he plays, we go to the Super Bowl. Great, fantastic. So it means that at least, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback, because I think he is. But we got to the Super Bowl because we had a good team, defense specifically. But we had a coach who also recognized that, hey, this league isn't built to stop the run anymore. Defenses used to have big, nasty guys in the middle to move people around, and linebackers were running free. This ain't that league no more. Linebackers are a lot lighter than they used to be. Defensive linemen are a lot lighter than they used to be. So our coach, wonderful Coach Shanahan, said to himself, what if we just run the ball the whole playoffs? Maybe we'll get a W. And so we went out and did it to Green Bay. We ran the ball down that
You,
throat, and
you guys built yourself a three-headed monster there.
we were able to rush the passer with 4, beat them, and we did that all the way to the Super Bowl, right? And in the event that Jimmy's a tad bit better, he's a tad bit better. He hits Emmanuel Sanders on this pass, or on that one pass where he dropped back and my guy Kittle runs an in route, and I think he ends up throwing the ball out of bounds. But he runs an in route. If he hits Kittle on this in route, we run in the Super Bowl. Just so we're clear. If he's a little better, we get this W. So to me, I understand that we may need somebody in that quarterback to come in and be healthy and be able for us to go out and get us a W and push us back to the Super Bowl. Now, would I have went nuts like that and traded everybody away? No, I wouldn't. We already had a pick in the first round at, like, I think it was 17 or something like that. I'm going in and saying to myself, what can I do to upgrade my team other than quarterback, because I feel like Jimmy was going to come back and be okay. I mean, high ankle sprain, I don't know how bad it was or whatever the case may be. He missed most of the season last year, but I'm looking for him to come back and be healthy. And if that's going to be the case, then I'm ready to go. Now, they're saying to themselves, we got to upgrade here because we need somebody to do whatever it is. I'm not extremely happy about that part. But, for us, I just think that health played the whole role for us last year. If we got Jimmy healthy the whole year, we got Bosa healthy the whole year, and a litany of other people who went down at points throughout the season. Kittle missed a bunch of time. A lot of our defensive players missed a bunch of time. So if we can keep people healthy out there, then I think we would have had a shot to going back to the Super Bowl. Do I think we would have won it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if anybody was going to go out there and beat Tom. That's always a hard thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely it is, especially now that he's in the NFC. So they selected Trey Lance. I didn't think they were going to do that, especially since it seemed like they put all their money
Oh,
on
Matt.
Garoppolo,
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
and it feels like Tom wanted to go play over there. He wanted to play over there or in what is it? Not San Diego anymore. The Chargers.
The Chargers, yeah. He was trying to get back to Cali.
Yeah, he wanted to go play over there. So, and then he made some comments recently about how he didn't name the team because it's Tom, but he basically said, "You guys are gonna keep that mf'er over me." And it seemed like there was only two teams that he was gonna go to. The Chargers
Right.
were drafting somebody, so there was no one there for them to pick or to keep. The other team was the 49ers,
I
meaning they were gonna
mean,
keep his old buddy, Jimmy.
yeah, but I think what their issue was is that again they were going to have to sign Tom, and then you were going to have to figure out what to do with Jimmy, right? What do you do at this point? Do you just stick out? You're going to be the backup for Tom Brady again? How's that? Yeah, welcome to the squad. Yeah, we paid you all this money, come be the backup. So I think they would have had to get rid of that money anyway and figure out a trader for him. Now there would have been some people that would cough up the money, but I mean cough up the draft capital for him.
I
But
mean,
I
I
just
think
don't.
New England would have taken him back. Because right now I mean, back then they didn't have Tom, and then they were like they were figuring out who they wanted, and they ended up on
Yeah.
Cam, which Belichick obviously wasn't too happy about.
Well, that plus, Cam missed time with COVID and then bounced back and tried to get himself back in the rhythm. Plus, he had the same exact problem that Tom had, which is they didn't have weapons.
Yeah,
They
and,
went
and
ahead
no
and
one
fixed
to
it.
protect him.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't expect anybody in this league to do anything without protection, right? So if you can't protect them, you're not gonna get this stuff. But for our end, I mean, I think they were kind of concerned about the whole, hey, how long is he gonna be here in the event that he does come? Um, and so I think they didn't go out on that limb and go ahead and pick Tom because of that. But listen, in my
But
personal
that's like
opinion,
saying that. I mean, in my eyes, Tom Brady is the goat. He's like,
yeah,
he's like a LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Where if LeBron James hits free agency, and he says, "I want to go to so and so team," I'm like,
you
okay,
move
what are
whatever
we what
pieces.
are we
Yeah,
doing to get LeBron James here?
yeah,
Who are we giving up? Like,
right,
it's one of those guys where he's gonna come in, he's gonna make your team better. And what Tom Brady has done, and he continues to do this season, is he's not asking for to be the highest paid player on the team. No, he's
that's
asking to just get paid, and then he'll take a cut so you can bring players to him. And
right.
people want to play for Tom Brady
Absolutely. Yeah,
or with him.
absolutely. And so I agree with you there. But, listen, you and I are smart people. You know what I mean? And seeing this thing from the outside looking in is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? If I had the opportunity to bring in Tom Brady over Jimmy Garoppolo, I do that. I do that 10 times out of 10. Excuse me, I do that 11 times out of 10. Okay, I'm doing it even when they ain't asking me to do it. So that's just our opinion. Now these people, they always want to. You got to think about it. They may be trying to show face for future free agents, stuff like that. It's like, hey, look what they did to Jimmy G. They brought him in, and they brought in the guy to succeed him the very next year or 2 years later. Listen, if you were going to end up drafting a quarterback, you could have went and got Tom, traded Jimmy, drafted a quarterback, not even in the first round. You wouldn't needed to go Mac Jones or Trey Lance or whomever. You could have went and got whoever you decided to get.
You could have got yourself a what's this guy? The guy the Dolphins got him, was it Weddle?
Oh
Yeah, from
no,
LSU.
was it LSU? I thought it was the guy from.
Well, you could have got yourself Devontae Smith from
Oh yeah, yeah,
Bama.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All of these guys, you could have went and got all of the talent in the world at wide receiver. You could have went and got any of that. But that's what I'm saying. Like you can go and then inject youth into any part of your roster, defensive line, offensive line, linebacker, whatever it is
And,
you want to do. We always need defensive backs.
and
We that's our weak spot.
you guys have Tom Brady's favorite like big target, which is a
Huge,
talented tight
amazing
end.
tight end. Yeah, yeah.
Which
We're
imagine that.
going to
And
get
if you
this
had
W.
and imagine if Gronk decides, okay, I'm gonna come out, and you get Gronk to line up besides Kittle.
You're starting to make me upset, David. Don't talk about it.
I'm just saying, like the fact that this didn't go through their head, like okay, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, like we can do this, like it just is mind boggling that he wanted to go there, and they're just like, nah, we're good.
We get Tom to play for 3 years. We probably win the Super Bowl twice. And when he retires, whoever we drafted in whatever year, is headed in the right direction now. You know what I mean? Like he's there. He's been groomed by the GOAT. Jimmy's back in New England, and he's still freezing his ass off, and nobody cares about it, right? So yeah, like I said, me and you are smart people. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that they did or didn't decide to do, I can't understand it. You know, I'm not mad at them because again, I think that the team is gonna be good again, just based off the fact that one, Kyle will see the games that Jimmy's not playing well, and he'll say, no problem. I mean, the game against Minnesota in the playoffs that year that they went to the Super Bowl, he goes, okay, we're beating these people, great, fantastic. Holy shit, Jimmy just threw a pick six. And then he proceeds to not throw the ball again for like 40 minutes. I mean, the last 25 minutes of the game. Don't get me wrong; it's because the running game was working.
But I mean, it was working in the Super Bowl too, and
Yeah.
then up 20-10 in the fourth quarter, and then you lose to 31-20.
You called his daddy should have called him while he was on the sideline and said, "Hey man, you're up 20. You run the ball. Yeah, just run it. Just run it. Remember what happened again in the Packer game? Even in that game, Aaron Rodgers started throwing the ball around a little bit. It got a little. It made your eyes open big, right? Just run the ball, man. You got this. Go ahead and hung up. That's what should have happened. Because if you just go out there and run it every time, you're gonna go and win the Super Bowl. You gotta go and win it.
You run the clock.
You gotta go and win it.
Stop trying to blow. That's what I mean. Same thing happened with Atlanta and New England, up 28-3 in the half, and okay, let's go away from the running game that's been working so well because Freeman's just been going up the line every single play, and let's start throwing it with Matt Ryan.
You're a Madden player, right? You played Madden. You ever notice in Madden that when you're mutting somebody or like most people play house rules, you down 21-0, you got to pass the sticks. So you're down to 21.
The mercy rule, yeah.
Yeah, gotta pass the sticks, right? But the reason that is because if you play those games after that, if you continue to play the game after that, Madden literally, if you start going out there throwing the ball around the field like you've been doing the whole game, they go up. You start throwing picks, people start fumbling, all of this stuff. It happens all the time because why? They're teaching you how to play real football. And real football, if you go up that much, you now take this ball, hand it to this running back, and this guy is supposed to go ahead and finish out the game for you, not you throwing balls all over the field and people getting an opportunity for you to go and intercept them or throwing incompletions and stopping the clock.
Exactly. All right. Well, with that said, we're jumping into everybody's favorite time. And you know what that is. It is overtime. Or as we like to say, OT. And here, there's no time limits in overtime. We talk everything besides sports, so pop culture, movies, what's in the news. So, today we're going to start off with a little Marvel Disney talk. And that is the drama that started off with Scarlett Johansson and Disney, and that she was suing Disney. She challenged.
I heard that.
She challenged the mouse. And let's just say the mouse bit back. So
the mouse gets W, bro. The mouse gets W.
Disney is undefeated. Let's just say that. So she started suing Disney because they released Black Widow in the theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time.
Right.
She said this was a breach in her contract because apparently a lot of her salary was coming from the box office, not from Disney Plus, whatever they sold there. So with COVID and all that, and it's a lot easier. People are just paying the $30 on Disney Plus, inviting everyone over. And imagine you have 10 heads there, $30, everyone's paying $3, right? If that's the case. Just to watch the movie. However, if you go to the theater, everyone's paying their $10, $15, whatever it is, per person. So she's losing out on money for people just staying home.
The big difference.
But Disney's still making theirs.
Of course.
So she said this was a breach in her contract because they were not supposed to release them both at the same time. So then what Disney did was they're like, oh, okay, you want to sue us? We're going to cut all ties with you.
Jeez.
And now all she had, apparently they were going to remake The Tower of Terror. And now that film is canceled. So basically everything that she was going to be on with Disney in the future is done. Which I mean, at least Marvel wise, Black Widow was gonna be the last thing because she's dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't caught it, then you got a problem.
Yeah. So she's dead. So now everything, and I mean, Disney right now runs everything if you really think
Well,
about it. And
it's
this is
Disney,
pretty
bro.
huge. She fought the mouse, and still Disney's undefeated.
Listen, man, that's gonna happen anyway. Like big business wins the majority of the time. Like you're not gonna walk out here and go, like I found this out at a very young age, and I'm gonna tell you, it was just being nosy. It was a early job that I had. I was still in my early 20s, and this lady was like, "Yeah, I'm suing this company. I slipped and fell in here, or whatever the case may be." I was like, "Wow, you slipped and fell here, and you still work here?" She was like, "Yeah, they can't fire me, at least not until the lawsuit's over." So I was like, "Okay, well, when the lawsuit's over, what happened?" Well, she says, "I can't work here anymore. Part of the settlement is I can't work here anymore." So Miss Scarlett Johansson is smart and as attractive as you are, ma'am. You thought that you were gonna sue the mouse and then just come out and make more money through it. No, no, you got to get out, man. You're out of here. And it bites because you would think that people want to honor their word, especially if you're signing a contract to get things done. But you put yourself in this position. You knew that this was a possibility, and maybe it was a breach of contract. But you don't go out and then go to the media and tell them that you're suing, you know, Disney, ESPN, and all the other,
ABC.
you know what I'm saying? All of the other acronyms you want to throw out there. You want to tell these people you're suing them? These people? Come on, man. Come on, man. You should have just went and had a personal conversation with somebody, found out that you weren't going to get the money that you were, and then hey, say, okay, so listen, can we renegotiate this portion of my contract? Let me see if I can get some of that streaming money that you're getting, because obviously I'm not going to be getting as much money as I thought.
Yeah, I feel like the suit was a little too forward.
Oh
Maybe
yes,
she
well,
should. I mean, maybe she did have the conversation. We don't know, but with all automatically the suit immediately, that's where you're like, oh, okay. It's. I feel like she jumped the gun, maybe a little too quick.
and you thought the mouse wasn't going to be ready? You thought the mouse wasn't going to be ready?
Mm-mm.
They probably laughed. Oh, you want to? I'm sorry, man. Oh, and they probably did it so nicely. Oh, no problem. Please come by the office. We'll talk in the morning. And they were like, "So, you're no longer going to be in this movie, and we're just going to scrap the movie altogether." Yeah, no problem. This is your contract. It's okay. Don't worry. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. And then, yeah. So, have a nice day. Smiled about it. Had somebody walk around, listen, with the Disney hand. The Disney
Yeah,
hand.
with the Disney hand just waving her away, like, here you go.
With the big mouse hand, with the just right out this way is where you'll go. Have a great one. Take it easy. Nice to see you. Bye bye.
Oh boy.
Tragic, bro.
I mean, luckily,
Tragic.
she's made a name for herself where, she. I don't think she'll be blacklisted. I feel like people were still gonna hire her, but it just won't
Oh
be
yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. And listen, I think they might end up coming back around to hire her again. Now, if she's not holding a grudge, of course, because big companies, they don't really care. They say, hey, we like you for this movie. What do you want to do? We haven't seen you in anything in a while. And listen, if you're hungry enough, if your stomach growling enough, you'll go out and make that money.
But I feel like knowing them, they might be a little bitter about it and be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hire you," and then, "Oh, am I same like just think about it like from a normal Joe Schmo job, like, okay, at the same rate. No, it's gonna be this.
Yeah, a little less.
We're not gonna cater to you anymore. If you want
Yeah,
this, you could come back. If not, we're good."
you don't need this money. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. Bye. With the Disney hand, of course.
Of
Right
course,
this right this way, man.
with the Mickey hand.
Right this way,
uh,
man.
all right. So next up, we have in overtime is I got three actually. I found one out before coming on the show. We got a couple of places that are you can stay at that are very unique.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna start off with the first one.
Okay.
It's in London, so and it's only a pop up room, so it is a KFC themed room.
I heard about this the other day, bro.
Yeah, it's called the House of Harland, and it is gonna be in what is it? It's at the 9A Club Row in London. one of these hotel suites, and it's has everything KFC wise. I'll pull up a picture now for everyone to see. And the guests will have access to a press for chicken button, which will deliver KFC's famous dishes on demand. So let me get this picture up here so everyone can see this lovely what this room looks like. So, Jason, I don't know if you're a KFC fan like I am. Would
Okay.
you stay in this room?
No,
No.
no, David. First of all, I haven't. Okay, so my kids eat KFC, but I personally haven't had food from KFC in I don't know how long. Now I used to be a fan. I can't say for that. I got to deal with the decor too. What
Yeah, it's
video
all.
game is this? Is this going to be the Colonel like chasing down chicken? Is that what's going to
It,
happen in the video game?
it says from what I can see, it says Hot Winger 64, so it might be like a racing game.
Oh my
Who
goodness!
knows? Maybe it's
No.
like Galaga. You got to shoot the little
Shoot the
chickens.
little chicken, and then can I get a side like a side piece? And then is that one going to help me shoot too, like in Galaga? Listen, man,
So
I
you're
got
not
no
thrilled by a button that you just press and chicken comes up to you? Like,
negative, bro. Like first of all, every hotel does that now. Like if you got to stay in a nice hotel, if you call down a room service, they gonna deliver you food. That's not abnormal. That's
but it's
there's
not
nothing.
KFC. It's not those 11 herbs and spices.
Have you gotten this grease on your hand recently? Has that happened to you? Because it's out of control, bro. Like it's the worst thing in life at this point. Like
It is.
I ain't
Well,
with it. Not
when I
worst thing.
get
Like
KFC, when I
I'm
get
going over the
KFC,
top to say that.
when I get KFC, I normally don't get the bucket. What I like from theirs is the famous bowl. So I don't really get grease on my hand because it's the mashed potato with the
Right.
corn and the little chicken bites already in it. So that's
That
my
was
favorite thing from them.
that was a great invention, and I got to give them props for that. The famous bowl was on point, and I've never been mad at a KFC biscuit either. Let's just be
I
clear. I've
don't.
never
I
been upset
see
about it.
the biscuit's good, but for
Yeah.
me, man, that Popeye biscuit
Oh no,
is undefeated.
there's better ones. I'm just saying that I've never been mad at it. Like I've never been like, oh, I ain't eating this biscuit. No,
Oh, you're
I
right. You're
ain't
right.
mad at it. It does what it's supposed to do, right? I'm mad that they switched from potato wedges to French fries.
Oh yeah, that
That
was
was
that was a
that was
big
a that
travesty.
was a
I don't
big
know
that
why I
was a
did
big
that.
downer. So I haven't eaten KFC in a while, but this is over the top, man. Does the room smell like chicken?
I
Is that like
mean,
a thing?
if
Is
there's a
it
chicken button, I'm assuming that it
does the
does.
room smell like chicken?
But I mean, it's only
I'm
for a
good, David.
limited time, so it's
Thank
only gonna,
God.
it's only available. You can only rent this out for 11 nights, and it is at 111 euros per night.
No, thank you. I'm gonna respectfully decline. Call me when they get the Popeyes one, or the what's this thing, the Hugh Hefner room or something like that, where
The
they got
Hugh.
the yeah, man. Give me something else. I ain't with the chicken. Don't bring the chicken in here. And then not to get stereotypical, but dog, as a black man, like I feel like this is coming at me a little too hard. You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna have a watermelon room next? Is that what we're doing? Are we gonna have a grape? Are we gonna have a grape soda room too? Is that what we're doing? Is that what's happening?
Hey, I love me
Grape,
some grape soda, so I'll
grape,
stay in that room.
grape drink, as Dave Chappelle would say. Is that what we're doing? Oh, I mean, let me know something now.
All right, all right. Well, we got another room. This one I am not. Where's this one at? Uh, I'll look it up now. But this next room, again, it's one of these specialty rooms. It is a Willy Wonka themed hotel
Okay,
room,
okay, might
and
be all right with this one.
this is their kicker. They have lickable wallpaper.
I'm not doing it.
So
I'm
this
not
this
doing
is
it.
how they've themed it. So it says coming soon to the hotel. The theme room will feature all things Willy Wonka inspired, lickable wallpaper with a variety of fruity flavors, a luxurious chocolate fountain with dipping fruit and marshmallows, jars of gobstoppers, gumballs, chocolates, and sweets, complimentary drinks such as luxury hot chocolate, and on request, chocolate filled bathtub.
The chocolate filled bathtub. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Sorry, we're doing big things over here. I'm super excited. There's a lot going on in the background. One of our clients got a offer accepted.
Oh, awesome!
So that's
Congrats!
that's major. That's major work right there. All coming at you live. See what the real estate thing does for
Look
you,
at
man.
that.
It'll keep you up late, and it'll get you hyped up. Now
Speaking
let's.
of which, I forgot to put the banner. So at the bottom,
I see it running. I
through the
see it running.
ticker, if you want to contact Jason or his lovely wife, we have it right there. So you continue. What do you think about this Wonka? So the KFC button chicken
Okay,
doesn't get you, but
no, it
the
doesn't do it.
bathtub filled with chocolate
The
does.
bathtub filled with chocolate, David. Like as an adult, you listen. This is. I mean, this is an adult show, so bro. We could do some things with this chocolate bathtub, man. We can do some things with this. That's number one. Number two, I ain't mad at all of the sweets and goodies in here. You know, the kids eat nerd ropes and all that other stuff, so they with it. The one place I gotta pause at though, one place I gotta pause at. I'm not licking the wallpaper, my boy. That's how COVID started. I don't care what nobody says. That's how it started right there. This was lemon lime. This was cherry, sour apple, blueberry, and somebody went to lapping up the wall, bro. And then there's just other people started lapping up the wall, and then there was a problem. That's gross, man. Like who's licking walls, bro? What is that? That's out of control, homie. Now, same thing. I'm sure for the for the chocolate in the bathtub, you got to hit it with some kind of like plastic liner, and that and that way you
I have zero idea. The way
hit it
this
with some
picture
plastic
shows
liner.
it, it just shows a bathtub with chocolate. Here, I
Chocolate
got
in it, of course. But I'm just saying, like you can't. There's other people in the bathtub, homie. How are we? Are we changing the bathtub after every guest? Because I'm not eating the chocolate out of the bathtub. Be like, we got
There
to
we
be
go.
sanitary
This is
at the
the
same
picture they
time.
put up. That's a
Not
whole tub full of chocolate.
so we're clear that looks gross. There's nothing that looks appealing about it. They should have had the chocolate coming out of the thing, but now that I think about it, bathroom and chocolate, that just doesn't look good together. That just kind of gives you
It's a lot
crap
of
vibe.
chocolate.
It is a lot of chocolate though, bro.
So
The
this,
Willy Wonka hotel room, huh?
yeah. So this one, it's also in the UK and England. Like I don't know what they're doing over there. And this room will cost you 200 euros per night.
Boom.
And the addition of the chocolate filled bath is at 150 euros per night.
Yeah, of course, because
Per
that
bath.
chocolate,
Per bath,
that
it says.
yeah, because that
Not
chocolate's
even
a lot
per
of
night.
money, homie. That chocolate's a lot of money. Who's melting down all that chocolate anyway? Where's the fondue fountain?
Seriously.
Out of
So
control.
so you would stay at this one.
I would definitely stay at the Willy Wonka one, bro. Definitely stay at the Willy Wonka. I'm not staying at the KFC hotel room. I don't care nothing about that. You keep your greasy chicken, homie. I'm with, but this Willy Wonka one, like I said, the kids would be in dreamland, all that candy in there. Now I would be upset that they would be bouncing off the walls, but I'm with it. Let me get an everlasting gobstopper. I'm with it.
Oh, see,
Is
if
it
they came with that, that's a game changer.
like who? As long as none of the kids blow up like Augustus, fall in the fountain like Augustus did, or blow up like a little girl like a blueberry.
The
Violet, you're turning
blueberry.
violet. Violet. As long as we're not dealing with that, we're okay. I'm good. Let's get it.
Oh, I wonder if. Oh man, it'd be great if they had the like the Oompa Loompas be like the people that take your luggage up for
Now
give or
let's talk. Now, see, David, you got the ideas coming, homie. I don't know. Little people have their own like. We don't want no problems with that. But that's major work right there, homie. That's what we looking for. You feel me?
All right, so then the last one that I found is it's not in the UK. It is here in the United States.
Okay.
However, it is on the opposite side of where we're at. It is in Oregon, and I'm not sure if you've watched it, but there was a documentary that came out on Netflix last year called The Last Blockbuster.
I haven't watched it. I've seen the title though.
Okay, so it's basically about how Blockbuster was this big, video chain store, which
Right.
I mean a lot of people should know, and
Right.
then
Blockbuster.
their downfall and how they went from like these thousands and thousands of stores to like three, and then just down to one, and how the one was trying to survive and didn't know if they were gonna get their thing renewed, and what the lady goes through to keep like her customers and her store up to date. So, spoiler alert, she ends up getting the the contract to keep going, and now what she's offering is at this last blockbuster, she's offering a night stay, like it's on Airbnb,
Uh huh.
and you can stay at the blockbuster.
I
They
ain't mad.
sh- she has a whole TV thing, the VCR, The Blockbuster, she has like a couch that pulls out into a bed, all the snacks, and I think the most intriguing thing about this is the price.
How much is it
So, I'll give me a number. What do you think? How much do you think per night it costs to stay at this Blockbuster?
per night?
Yes,
You said it's in Oregon.
yes, Bend, Oregon.
It's probably 300 a night.
300 a night. You were very far from that number. It is a whopping $4 per night.
Oh, I'm with it all day, every day. And do I get while I'm staying there? Do I get access to all of these
Yes, because you're
movies?
staying in it. So I'm gonna
Oh, I'm with
just
it. Let's go. Let's
go through
go.
a couple of photos here, so you'll be able to see. This is the outside of the Blockbuster. This is the lounge area where you would be sleeping.
Okay.
So they have the big, like old school TV with all the movies you can get.
Hmm.
That opens up into a pullout. Uh, just the photos
I
of
got VHSs.
yes, and then the candy and snacks you want. And there's the bed.
I'm with
All
it.
90s themes, so you can get your 90s nostalgia
I'm with
going.
it, my brother. I'm finna watch Goonies. I'm gonna watch Eddie Murphy Raw. What else? Terminator 2. Not Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Let me see what else I might catch. Uh, I gotta throw in a horror film. I'm gonna watch the original Halloween. Jamie
Ooh,
Lee Curtis, baby. Let's do it.
okay.
That's my four movies for the night, my man. I'm ready. Let's do this, man. I'm
You're gonna be
geeked
doing
up.
no sleeping at the Blockbuster.
Bruh, no sleeping for $4? Four whole bucks? Oh well, we doing it. We might stay here for a month, man. We at it. Let's do this.
$4.
I'm ready, my man. I'm ready. I am ready, my brother.
When I saw
Ready.
this one, I was like, I mean, I as a kid, I loved going to Blockbuster, going through the different aisles, seeing what I could find, whether video games or movies. So to me, this is like nostalgia
Bruh,
on 100.
bruh.
Staying at a Blockbuster, just you could pick anything you want.
I gotta do it, homie. I got to. It's only right. I mean, when me and my wife were in our early stages of dating, we used to go to Blockbuster and just pick out movies all day and then go home and watch, five movies or whatever the case may be. We started buying the DVDs once they started coming out for sale. It was amazing, man. I was getting all of the got Kill Bill 1 and 2, like a bunch of I still have a DVD collection to this day, bro. And I'm just looking at it like, dog, I need to throw these in the trash can, but I don't want to do it. Like there's no we have a DVD. We have one DVD player left in the house. It's wrapped up in the closet. Nobody uses it, whatever the case may be. And it's just for emergency, just for the day that the internet decides to go out and we gotta plug in the DVD player to watch TV. But I don't want to throw in my DVDs, man. So of course I'm going. Of course I'm staying at the Blockbuster, especially if it's only $4 a night. Especially if it's only $4 a night.
So from what I'm looking at on the Airbnb site, it's looking like this is there's no finding a date anytime soon to do this.
Yeah,
But
because she wanted to keep her Blockbuster open, bro. She knew what she was doing. She's a smart lady. She did a good job. Now I would have charged more than $4 a night because you would
that's
have
very
got that
true.
money.
Oh,
If
of
I charge
course.
you, if I charge you $50 a night, you're staying here, bro. Because a regular hotel is gonna cost you way more than that.
I guess it's maybe because from what I can tell, I mean it's a Blockbuster, so I'm assuming that all she has is a bathroom to like use to like, brush your teeth and pee and do your business,
Oh,
not really to
oh yeah.
shower.
Then that's not great.
So you're gonna have to find somewhere to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's building that as we speak, so that
Hmm.
they have that amenity there. But from I'd also they offer breakfast, so I wonder what the breakfast is for $4.
Nobody's mad at that.
No, not at all.
Nobody's mad at that.
So
Like I said,
Blockbuster, yes. Willy Wonka, yes. KFC, hell no.
definitely not the KFC, bro. Can't do it. Can't do it. I
Uh,
don't even know where KFC is that popular, bro. For them to listen, whatever, man.
it
I
must
don't
be
want to
in the
rack.
UK. It must be in the UK for them to offer that.
Gotta be.
All right. So our last topic for tonight is actually one that I saw again right before coming on, and that is about Miss Britney Spears. And that is
Brittany's in the
that
news again.
yeah, well, it's good news is people are getting what they wanted. The Free Britney movement has worked, and her dad has come down from the well, he's stepping down from being her conservator, so he's no longer in charge of her in
Estate.
general,
Hmm.
her estate. So she's getting a. I'm assuming she's getting that back now that her dad is stepping down. I'm not really sure how that works, but it was a lot of what she was fighting for to get her name back and all her properties and all that.
Right.
Since apparently her dad was keeping her from doing so many different things, which just hearing about that whole thing, I we talked about it on the last show. It's just insane that she couldn't have babies. She had to have I forgot what it's called, so that she couldn't get pregnant. She couldn't like choose her outfits to like her shows and things like that. And she said that she wasn't going to perform until she got her estates back.
Right. So now don't even, I can't speak to Brittany all that great. So I need to know, like, is she going through so, or was she going through some sort of some sort of mental issue or something like that?
Yes, so that was a couple years back when she did the whole shaving of her head thing.
Right. I remember that.
So she was going through like a thing where they didn't know if she was like gonna
She
be
had a
stable and
break.
all that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So her dad was the main, and then her sister was like the number two.
Right.
So apparently she came out saying that her dad was like basically taking advantage of her, that she couldn't do things that she wanted to, like she said she wanted to have more babies, but they weren't allowing her. Man, I forgot what it's called. There's an like I don't want to say a diaphragm, but that like in
IUD.
IUD, yes, they had her get one of those, and she couldn't take it out, because they didn't want to have any more kids because they thought she was a danger to herself and her kids, where she could only see her kids sometimes,
Yeah.
and yeah, and her dad apparently was taking money from her as well.
Of
So that's
course.
like a whole other battle they're having as well.
Right.
Now that he stepped down, now they're trying to figure all that stuff out with the father.
That's a slippery slope, man. I mean, if she's, you know what I mean, like it's a tough situation on both ends. Of course, the public, we love a train wreck, right? So, had they not intervened, who knows where she would be? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
She could have ended up killing herself. She could have ended up hurting other people. All kinds of things. So, it's great to have family around to try to assist, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're hoping that they're operating in her best interest. And I'm sure they did the best they could at the time. You know what I mean? I'm sure they jumped in and tried their very best. It's just a hard situation to be in. Great that she's gonna return, that she's at least shown stable enough to now go out and be a productive citizen again on her own, right? Without
Yeah,
these stipulations and people in place to say, "Hey, look at you, you have this, you have that going on," and we need to be the person that's in charge of you. She can go out and be in charge of herself, and that's fantastic. But at the same time, man, now it makes the parent look bad after they've done all of these things to try to help their child, and there's never going to be like a great ending to that whole situation, right? He's going to try his very best, but at the end of the day, somebody's going to scrutinize it and say he could have did better.
that's
So
true.
I just prayers for both of them, and hopefully that she's on the other side of whatever issue she's got, and she's going to live a long and prosperous life, have more babies if she decides to do so, and get her other kids back, and just be a great person. Go back on tour, do what she loves, and God help them all, and just allow them to be great. That's how I feel about it. Because as a parent, you realize that there's no. You wish once you have children, you wish there was a book to this thing. You wish there was some kind of guide other than what you've seen your parents try their very best to do, and you quickly realize that they're doing what they know best and what they know best to do, whatever that may be, whatever it is that you disagree with as a kid. When you get older and you have your own children, you say to yourself, "Oh, now I understand why they did this." Because being a parent is the most amazing, gratifying, most crazy, retarded, most phenomenal, most painful thing that you're probably ever going to go through. Because you're going to project yourself onto children. You're going to want them to do and be better at certain things, and they're just going to be who they are. and you're gonna try your very best for them to be amazing and all. You're gonna try your very best for them to be protected and taken care of for their entire life, and they're gonna do things to be outside of that protection. And what are you gonna do at that point? You know what I mean? Like you're gonna try your hardest because you love them, and that's the other thing too. As a parent, especially when they're younger, you have so much love for these little creatures that you will do things that you never ever thought you would do. And when I say never ever, I mean never ever. You never thought that you would do these things, but you do them because you know that they need whatever it is that you're doing these things to provide. So, like I said, that's a tight situation to be in. Just being a parent myself and understanding that you're gonna go out and try your very best to do whatever it is that you can for your kid to be okay. And I'm sure he stepped in and tried to do that. Maybe he screwed over the money, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But that's just a tough situation to be in for both of them. And like I said, I'm just happy for her to be better after all of that time. And now she's able to kind of handle herself on her own.
Yeah, I think for me, what's most concerning now is hearing everything that she's gone through the last couple of years. Like, if I feel like even if she's all right now, like I don't know if she's okay right now. Like to get everything back, like I feel
Right.
like she definitely, I don't know, has to have a good therapist because not having control of your entire life, like the last couple of years, that's huge. That I
Yeah,
feel like that takes a toll on you, and you can't be in the right state of mind where you can make decisions like anything. Like, who's to say that she can have kids and be okay?
exactly.
So I feel like it's great that she's getting her estate back and being able to make decisions on her own, but I feel like she still should have someone there, like really watching her, like just to make sure that she doesn't go off the deep end again because of how traumatic the last few years have been for her
Right.
dealing with all this.
And man, listen, like one thing I learned when my wife got pregnant is that women like you think right? You think you're like, oh yeah, women are emotional and women are you never seen a pregnant woman, bro. Like it's a whole different ball game. Their hormones are all over the place because they're incubating a brand new person. They're creating life. And your body goes through changes that as a man we have no clue and no opportunity. We shouldn't even talk about it. That's how crazy it is. Like we shouldn't even reserve the right to talk about it. So in the event that she has already been dealing with all of these imbalances and things of that nature and then has a baby or gets pregnant, now she has to go through all of these things. It could take a big toll, man. So like I said, I just prayers to them and their family. Hopefully she's better, really better, and can move forward with the whole thing because it can get scary, man. And we don't need another rest in peace to anybody. This whole COVID thing is taking out enough people. So prayers to them, and hopefully she does well on the opposite end of this whole thing.
Absolutely. So with that, I have no more topics. Is there anything you want to talk about in overtime?
Nah, man. Well, we've been on this thing what 2 hours or so, man. I'm with it. This is great though, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited about the whole thing. I'm gonna go back and watch it and see if I should have said this or maybe I should have said that. But you know me, man. I'm always down to talk sports or whatever other topics out there. So thank you so much for inviting me, man. And anytime you have another break in the show, you let me know. I'll see if I can jump back on here.
No, no, no problem. Thank you so much for helping me out here. I needed a good co-host to help me out, and I feel like you did that. Gave some good content, great opinions as well. Thank you so much again, Jay. I'm so happy I've been able to count on you for so many years.
Yo, man, you know how we get down, David. This is how we do, man. You already know. I ain't trying to make you cry, but we've been on this, man. We've been doing this. We've been a dynamic duo for a long time, bro. So it's
Yes,
always good to
sir.
see you, man. I'm glad you're doing something that you love, dog. Man. Like I said, I'll be tuning in from here on out. And like I said, you ever need me again, you hit my line. You got my number, my brother.
Absolutely. And you kind of gave me an idea when you were talking at the beginning with the around the horn. I'm thinking of now that I'm running the show solo for a bit, maybe doing something like that.
Oh, listen, I might have
So
to get on there and dominate, man. I started talking my wins immediately. Yep, I'm the first winner of this game. Let me get my 30 seconds of FaceTime, baby.
so I think I might, just to make it sort of easier on myself to not have to do everything, bring a couple people on. I'll be the tone and reality of the show, and do it around the horn style. We could do the quarter, each quarter is something different. See who totals up the most points at the end, and you get your little segment at the end.
For sure, for sure. But I'm
But
with it,
yes,
man. Again, let me know. Let me know. I'm always with it.
absolutely. And just you want to remind everyone about the contact info that's at the bottom.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. If you're looking at it, guys, your real estate warrior. She just got a client under contract tonight, right now, tonight,
Yes,
while the
you
show
go
was
back
going on.
to watch the
Yeah,
episode a couple minutes ago. You'll see
yeah.
it.
You'll see me giving her the secret handshake. Don't sweat our secret handshake, but I'm reaching over to give her the secret handshake because just now tonight she went and got a client under contract. So if you're looking to buy, rent, sell, um, purchase investment property, if you just want to talk real estate and have a consultation, please reach out to her. Her website here at the bottom, also her contact information for her email. Reach out, and we're always here to help you, man. This is a great feeling, and again, thank you so much for the platform, David. You're amazing, bro.
Oh, no problem. Any way I can help. And again, guys, the website is yourrealestatewarrior.com, or you can email her at Maya, MIYA, at trusteliteinc.com.
Elite or else, baby.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jay, again. Thank you, everyone, for watching. You guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.
Two fingers like a boss.